first time, I can feel that burning deep inside. Gonna give it all I am. Gotta feel that power in my hands. Beat of the drums rushing through my skin.
It's a Cup Finals Day double-header. First up, the stars of the WBBL go head-to-head.
And it will be between London and Newcastle. Beckford Norton for the triple. Hits it and is fouled! Mcvicker steps into the three.
Then it's silverware on the line in the BBL.
And the Leicester Riders are going to the BBL Cup final. It will be against the Manchester Giants. Crandall to the spin. Oh, man. Armstrong looking to attack quickly. Beautiful move. Wheeler drives in, drops it off to Paul. Here's Clark, and he jams it home.
We're live from the Utilita Arena in Birmingham for our first final showcase of the season. Titles are at stake in both the WBBL and the BBL. Two fascinating cup finals coming your way this afternoon. Later on, the men take centre stage with the most successful team of the last decade, the Leicester Riders, squaring off against the Manchester Giants, eager for their first ever taste of silverware. But first, in the WBBL, the trailblazing London Lions look to lock in the first trophy of the season against the Newcastle Eagles in a repeat of last season's playoff final. A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to Birmingham. We're expecting over 10,000 British basketball fans in the house this afternoon, and one or two British basketball legends too, including Siobhan Pryor and Kieran Achara. Great to see you both. Now, Siobhan, it was terrific we had any basketball last season, terrific we had a cup final, but this is more like it, isn't it?
It is definitely more like it. This is where the women's game belongs, on this big stage, in these big arenas, with a lot of fans. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. On
a personal level, what kind of memories come flooding back for you on finals day?
Tears of both sadness and joy. The last time I was here, though, it was tears of joy after winning. So
we've got a jam-packed afternoon, Kieran. In between the finals, a slam dunk competition. Are you going to dust your kit off and get involved with that?
Clearly that was my forte. Obviously I wasn't renowned for my dunking, but I know we've got Air Canada here, Mike Tucker, will be bringing all the action later on.
Yeah, he's going to be running that show for sure. Now, the WBBL Cup final is first up, and I think it's fair to say that these are two teams that are coming into the final with contrasting fortunes.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of volatility in the Eagles camp right now. It's great to get to a final. They're here at the big stage. They want to be here, but completely different look and feel to the team. And then you've got the London Lions, who are just high-flying, representing Britain in the grand stage in Europe, playing at a high level, undefeated in British competition. It's going to be an exciting one.
Let's talk about the terrific season the Lions have had. Some major wins in Europe as well. How significant do you think their performance this season has been for the women's game in total?
Yeah, it's been absolutely massive. They've beaten Liga Femenina teams. They've beaten Bourges. I can't even believe, that happened. When just seeing that on Twitter, just written down, London Lions beat Bourges. They're really blazing a trail, and they're setting the bar for everybody else. And it's a scary bar, but it's an exciting one, and I think everybody is willing and able to raise their level as well.
Well, in a few hours, one of these teams will be adding their name to an illustrious list of past winners, a list that includes Siobhan Pryor, of course. In its 5-year history, the WBBL Cup final has seen a new team win the title every year. So another new winner of the Cup is guaranteed today, which Siobhan, shows how open and competitive the WBBL can be.
Yeah, and that it's, you know, becoming more and more competitive each and every year. I think it's absolutely brilliant that we're going to have a brand new winner here today, and, you know, hopefully that's what we see more of moving forward.
Last year, the cup was won by Leicester in a terrific game that we had on Sky Sports against the Sevenoaks Suns. Holly Winterburn, part of that winning Riders team, she's now with the Lions playing today, and adding to a strong foundation of British players with the Lions, Siobhan.
Yeah, a strong foundation, definitely. You've got, obviously, Joe, Jolin Warner, and then you've also got Azania, who are just giants of the women's game. They've had amazing international careers, brilliant careers in Europe, and it's really nice to see them on the home stage now. We'll
be seeing them in action very shortly. This is how they made it to the final. There are 4 groups in the first stage of the competition. The winners of each group meeting in the semi-finals. London cruised past the Sheffield Hatters. Newcastle narrowly defeated the defending champs, the Leicester Riders. A win for the Eagles, which included a remarkable 14-2 run to get them over the line. And the Lions no strangers to the big occasion. They've had a great season this year. They won 2 pieces of silverware last year, the WBBL trophy, apologies Siobhan, against your Wildcats, and the playoff final as well against Newcastle. You talk about this British core and a lot of those players returning this season. How significant has that been, the continuity that they've maintained?
Yeah, so I think Mark Clark, the coach, has done such a good job of sort of blending old in with new faces. So Kennedy Leonard, she just runs the show. That's just not going to be a change from last year. Shanice Beckford-Norton as well, who she can go off at any point in any game. You know, so having sort of a core there already and then just adding the talent and the calibre of players that they've added, it's almost unfair.
Well, let's find a little bit more about this unfair mismatch, potentially. Some of the key players in this Lions team. Well, Siobhan paid a visit to them a little bit earlier on this week.
Thanks for joining me today, guys. I'm really excited to talk about the Cup final and a few other bits and bobs. So how's it been so far this season?
I think it's been good. Obviously, we have a few new additions, but I think for the most part, it's been a good experience. We had Euro Cup and stuff like that as well, so it's been different, but it's been good, and less issues with COVID this year, so it's also been a lot more fun and easy to handle.
And Euro Cup was just an amazing experience for you guys, but also for us as like British basketball fans. I mean, you're a winner of Euro Cup. How important was that for the team going into it this year?
I don't know if people really expected us to even make it, and then to make it and do what we did, it was huge for the country, for women's basketball and just basketball in Britain. It was just unbelievable.
And for you, Z, obviously 2018 you were in Euro Cup. That was your last season before you retired, and now you're back. How are you feeling about that?
Good. It's crazy because it hasn't even been a year. Like when people are like, oh, you're coming out of retirement, and I'm like, yeah, I've been out of retirement. Basketball gave me a purpose again, especially through the lockdown. And then coming back home to London really was like so special for me.
It's like something that you never even thought would happen. You get to play in your own yard, and then we get to play in our own yard in sense of our country. Like, no one could have ever told me that, ever. No way. Then you go bigger than that, and I'm looking at, like, I think Paul Nilsson wrote it. WBBL team beats Tango Borge basket. I was like, wait, what? That doesn't look right. It doesn't look right at all. And then, the fact that, we were just a part of that, and then all the history that comes along with it, it's just something that you just never think you would get to be a part of. So it's just so lovely.
You talked about, like, COVID, basketball. I mean, I know you were the GB COVID officer during COVID. Sparked your return. Yeah. But you also had a special gift during COVID, didn't you?
I sure did, yes. That was also something that I never thought would happen this early. I thought, I don't know how long my career was going to go for, but I definitely thought it was going to go a bit further. And the fact that now I have a baby and a girl as well, to just be on the side and be around the team and to come and watch me and to watch all of us. It's like things just happen that you dream of, and so it's just so nice.
So you've not won this one yet as a club. You've got the trophy final. You've got the playoff final. So how are you feeling ahead of the cup final?
I think we're excited. For like you said, for most of us, it'll be our first one because of COVID last year. We had to forfeit a game, so we didn't get through. Yeah. So I think for us, we're excited. There's nothing to lose, and we know that everybody's coming for us. So as long as we can kind of keep our level up high and make ourselves better, then then I think we'll be all right.
And that's what we've been trying to focus on, is like our level, where we have been playing in Euro Cup, how high it is, how intense it is, how fast it is not to drop off. And this is what was so important when we made this team.
Charles has it. Leonard now from behind the arc.
So back on Sky Sports, you've done well so far, haven't you, yourself?
Yeah, I like it. I think the atmosphere is something that is hard to ignore. And as a player, those are the moments that you kind of live for. It's a final. It's, you know, surrounded by people and fans and people who love the game. And then you're doing it with people who you spend so many hours with, working hard, crying, bleeding, sweating, all that stuff. So I'm excited, and I think for people to first experience it like they're gonna. Joe's been on a huge stage, Z's been on a huge stage, but this is their first time doing it here again. So another piece of history for them, and hopefully we can kind of come away with a win for you guys. I don't know. We'll try.
I'm just excited that the women's game is on such a big stage. That's what I'm excited for, and I hope ourselves in Newcastle will give a good show for everybody.
It's interesting that Kennedy Leonard referred to everyone gunning for us. Does that bring a team together, even though there is obviously added pressure with that kind of status, that sense that everyone is gunning for you? Does it tend to bring a team together?
I think so, because you have a target on your back, and I think it challenges you as well to play the best that you can every single game, no matter who the opponent is.
As we saw there, Kieran, a team full of players with experience of the big occasion. How critical is that going to be today?
Yeah, I was just watching at the start of the game. They look so composed, and it's because their expectations, they know what to expect, you know. So I think it does play a vital role in that situation.
Well, let's talk experience with Azania Stewart first of all. Over 100 caps for Team GB. As we heard, she came out of retirement and still, Siobhan, very much competing at the top level.
Very much so, yeah. She's an absolute force inside for London. And, you know, she's been a force throughout her whole career. You can see some of her stats there this year. But, yeah, she's just so disciplined and so hard-working. She runs the rim every single time. She just does her job, and she does it really well.
And as we've seen there, leads the team in boards, shooting over 57% on the season, so contributing at both ends of the court. Jolin Warner, another vastly experienced member of this Lions side, an Olympian. Why is she such a crucial part of this offense, Kieran?
She is relentless. You know, she holds herself to high expectations and the team. But, you know, she can score, she can pass, you know, she gets the big steals, the big rebounds. She just does it all. I've seen that when she's on the court, she's been plus 31 and plus minus. Like, she is a difference maker.
How much would she love to win the WBBL Cup on home soil?
She would absolutely love it. She's won enough abroad, so this would be amazing.
Shanice Beckford, one of 7 Lions players averaging over 10 points a game, but there's more to her game than scoring.
Oh, 100%. She's actually a really good rebounder for a guard. She's just everywhere. Defensively, she's unbelievable as well. She's the energy for them.
Kennedy Leonard, very much one of the stars of the WBBL. How instrumental, Kieran, is she in terms of driving the game for the Lions?
She's so composed, you know. I've got such a soft spot for Kennedy. She's such a lovely person, but like she's again, probably relentlessness. She gets it done on the court, but I think her composure, you know, controlling the rhythm, she never gets phased. That's a big addition to the London Lions team.
How are you seeing her developing as a leader?
I mean, you see it all the time. I think she's becoming more vocal as well, and so she's not just playing with the game.
Holly Winterburn, rising star, recently received her first Team GB cap as well. How has her game changed at London compared to when she was at Leicester?
I mean, she doesn't have to do as much from a scoring perspective, but she still is scoring, but she's facilitating a lot more, and she's told me that she just loves being around Azania and Joe and being held accountable by them every day.
Okay, a little bit earlier on, Siobhan caught up with both coaches. Let's hear from the Lions head coach, Mark Clark.
Congrats so far on this season. It's been amazing for you guys. Euro Cup, domestically, you're obviously unbeaten. And it's great for us to watch that. So how has that happened for you? Like, how do you keep that bar raised?
Well, firstly, you've got to have good people. And I think we've recruited some really good people. We've got some people with some great experience. And right from the qualification game in Crystal Palace, you know, Jolin and Azania Stewart, we're always talking about it's about us. You know, it's about our level. It's about the level we set, and that we can control that. And that's what we've tried to do, control our level.
And just raise that bar for British basketball.
Well, I've said, I mean, I'm on record as saying that, you know, for a WBBL team to beat a team from the Liga Femenina, to beat Bourges, is, I think that's should be a motivation for the rest of the league. I've always thought we have players who can compete at that level, and we've clearly demonstrated it's possible. You just have to put the time and you need great organisation, and we've got a great organisation now.
And focusing on the league right now, so WBBL Cup final, you've got the playoff final, you've got the trophy final, so this would be another piece of history for you.
Yep, I mean, I think, Kennedy said, we want to be history makers as such, and I think winning your first one of anything is always a big deal. You've always got that pressure of winning the first one, and that's exactly where we find ourselves now. You as a player know, winning that first one is always a tough one, and there's, the BBL Cup, WBBL Cup is one of the biggest competitions there is.
How much credit, Kieran, should Coach Clark get for the successes that we've seen this season with the Lions side, in Europe in particular?
Yes, so much. I think he's slowly but surely made sure that they continue to build. They got a strong British core. He believed, and with that belief, it's taken them on to these big stages.
As he said after the Euro campaign, he wants this Lions side to inspire a whole new generation of players. He's certainly doing that, isn't he?
Of course he's doing that, and stages like this on Sky Sports can only do wonders for that as well.
All right then, big names, big stars, so a huge task ahead for the Newcastle Eagles. Next up, we'll meet some of the players that are going to be taking on this Lions side this afternoon and going head-to-head. That's next.
You'll talk to one person and it'll be like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And then you get two Geordies together and it's, why I'm in.
I'll go for the good old one, like, away the lasses. Away the lasses.
So it's not even just one word, it's the whole language.
Welcome back to our live coverage of the WBBL Cup final here in Birmingham. We're getting closer to tip-off as the Eagles and Lions go through their paces. Now, we can't hide from the fact that this is a very tall order for Newcastle today. Lots of change in terms of playing personnel. A brand new head coach as well. Let's start with that, Kieran. Noelia Kachira has taken on the reins 7 days and change to get her team ready for the final. How does a coach even begin to take on a task like that?
I think the first thing you have to do is that confidence. You can't change things. They can play basketball. They know how to play basketball. It's instilling that belief and confidence. Just go out and play. You can tweak little things as the game progresses, but just having that belief that through all the change, we're still here at a final. We're still here to compete.
We've talked about the continuity within the Lions side, but whilst there's been a lot of change with this Eagles side, there are some key staples here that can keep things steady early on today.
Yeah, there are. Chloe Gaynor is one, and Jessica Eadsforth the 8. So they were a big part of them getting to the actual final in that last 14-2 run. They were massive. So there is some continuity.
Will this be a confidence play, do you think, that if they can keep it tight in the first quarter, that belief will grow, but a bad start, conversely, could just be too tall in order to pull back from?
Yeah, I think you really have to focus on the start of the game, and you have to, no matter if you're scoring or not, you've just got to focus on defence and lock down London as best you can. But they're used to being the underdogs. We saw in the playoffs last year that they came back and beat teams they weren't supposed to beat. So,
well, let's find out a little bit more about some of these characters, old and new, inside the Newcastle locker room.
It's just a great experience, really.
It means a lot. Like, I'm a northern girl. I'm originally from Manchester.
For me to play for Newcastle Eagles was an opportunity to do something bigger, better.
It means a lot. I'm very proud to be a part of this club.
It means playing for a community.
Just that kind of pride, of having the badge on your chest, really.
There was nowhere else I wanted to play.
Larry Bird, because I've just always idolized him as a Boston Celtics fan. Paul Walker. I guess Michael Jordan. Throw him in there.
For sure, we're picking Kobe Bryant. Oh, Sabrina Ionescu. Maybe Fletch from the Eagles.
Fletcher's going to try his luck from three-point range and knock it down.
He's a legend in the Northeast. Come on.
I'm going to go with Beyonce, Adele, Luka Doncic. So I think we would have a pretty good party.
Please do not show this, because he would get so hyped if I showed this. The GOAT in my life for sure is my mum.
It's got to be my mum.
I'm going to say my mum.
To me, she's like superhuman or something.
She's like a hero. She gets through it. She's tough, mentally tough, physically tough.
She's just been a constant supportive figure. She's someone that I just can always rely on, no matter what.
You'll talk to one person, and it'll be like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And then you get two Geordies together, and it's, why I'm in.
I'll go for the good old one, like, away the lasses.
Away the lasses.
Need some of the proper Geordies, that's right, to get some of the good slang out.
Start going off in all kinds of slang. It's not even just one word, it's the whole language.
Growing up, I've always seen the Birmingham final. Playing a final is where you want to be, ultimately.
It means a lot. It's a big deal. We worked hard to make it all the way here.
Everyone wants to win a game. We want to go in and play. We're the underdogs. We have nothing to lose.
Especially against a team that's so big as London. Definitely a historic moment for sure.
We should point out that Fletch is in the building this afternoon, joining us for the BBL Cup final later on, so we'll make sure he sees that. While you're watching it right now, that displays a smile on his face. Incidentally, great to see a lot of the Eagles mums getting love in that BT piece as well. So shout out to all parents, siblings, friends that have a vested interest in this game, because it must be the hardest thing to be watching on. There's Fletch.
The goal of the Northeast.
He's definitely seen that BT. As I say, he'll be joining us later on for the BBL Cup final. Looking forward to that. As Maddie Mcvicker said in that piece, they're the underdogs. They've got nothing to lose, Siobhan, and that's what they've got to really draw from.
Yeah, definitely. There's absolutely no pressure on them whatsoever. They can go out, focus on what they do, and just enjoy being on this stage.
Let's see some of the key protagonists for Newcastle this afternoon, starting with Maddie Mcvicker, their leading scorer this season. A versatile player, isn't she? Break down her offensive game for us, Siobhan.
Yeah, her offensive game is vast. She can score off the dribble, she can create her own shot. If she starts to get hot and she starts to go off, London are going to have trouble.
So key for their chances today that she has a big game. Chloe Gaynor, you mentioned her a bit earlier on, the leading rebounder for the Eagles. You played with her in Nottingham, so you know all about her game.
Yeah, I know all about her game, all about her as a person. She's a great person, a really positive teammate. And, she's patient. She owns the paint, and her footwork is really, really good around the rim.
Jessica Eadsforth Yates, another player that can really hit a rich vein of form, go on a run and change a game.
Yeah, she can. She can really shoot the ball. I've seen it with my own eyes as she's grown up playing, but she did it as well in the semi-final.
All right, Siobhan called up a little bit earlier with the Eagles coach Noella Cachero to find out how she's been facing this big game with such short notice.
Congratulations on the new job. Obviously, it's a new role for you. How has your first week gone so far?
Well, thank you very much for the warm welcome. The first week, I'm not going to lie, it's been rough. It's been quite a tough week. You know, Murphy's Law has really hit us. We've had COVID, we've had injuries last minute, long-term injuries, players leaving, and of course the change of coach. So preparations have not been as good as we would have hoped, but we've come as prepared as we can.
Great. I'm excited to see you guys play. First time on this big stage for this group. What have been the preparations? So what are your focuses, your keys for the game?
So we've had 2 sessions, one for defense, one for offense. We are right now, we are the Eagles, but we haven't learned how to fly yet. So we have to start by learning how to walk. So we're starting with ourselves, and the work we're going to put out tonight is to answer some questions about ourselves. Who are we as a team, and what's our identity from this point forwards?
So it's a starting point for you guys.
For us it is, yes, very much so.
Okay, we're all set for our first final of the day. Time to welcome the players onto the court as we near tip-off. Guiding you through the dynamic duo in place. A very good afternoon to Ant Rowe and Dan Rowledge.
It's still morning now. Good morning to you. It's just before 12 o'clock, but we're ready to go with the teams. You've played on this stage. This is one of the best days in the British basketball calendar.
It is. It's my favourite, actually, Dan. It was the first piece of silver where I ever won in my career back in 2013 now. But what this does is it sets the tone for the remainder of the season. This is the first piece of silver up for grabs, and it puts you on that totem pole there for the rest of the season and sets a tone.
And from London's perspective, obviously everybody's looking at them. Can they do the sweep this season? You can only do the sweep by winning the first one.
That's it. So I'm sure Coach Clark would really want to get this one in the bag so he can crack on with the remaining. But look, we've already seen some inspirational performances from this London club across Europe, and this will be the first domestic cup up for grabs this year for them.
And you've played in finals where you're big favourites. How does that change the psyche? Because obviously London coming into this, massive favourites, everybody's expecting them to win. How do you sort of compartmentalise that?
This is where sometimes logic can go out of the window. You know, being a favourite is great when you've got a game every week, a league play, consistency, etc. But on one given day, this is sport. And this is why we love sport, because anything can happen. However, I will caveat that and say this is a David and Goliath today. This is an incredibly stacked London squad and a new and depleted Newcastle team. However, we all know what happens in David and Goliath.
Yeah, indeed. And that's I guess for Newcastle, there's no pressure. Nobody's thinking they're going to win. Nobody's expecting them to win. There'll be people in the building who'll be rooting for them just because they're the underdog. And it's sort of like just go out there and try and enjoy the occasion and see where it takes you.
And that can be a very dangerous thing. You've got a competitive team there with zero expectation, and the coach is new in itself as well, so she is it's a blank slate for her. That is a very dangerous animal, a no fear mentality. I've seen stranger things happen, Dan.
Well, as the Lions introduced to the crowd here, and you look at them as they come out one by one. They are so stacked. There is so much talent, and that's kind of the thing. Sometimes you look at it and go, well, if this player has a bad game or that player has a bad game. In London's case, if this player or that player has a bad game, there's another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people who'll come on and have a good game instead.
They have got a lot of ticks. They've got youth, they've got experience, they've got size, they've got knowledge, and they've got a coach too who's been here and done that over the years. They have everything that you'd want, and that's why it's no surprise why they've done so well representing the UK in European competition, because this is a roster here that is assembled to do great things.
Well, yeah, they've got the most experienced coach in the league as well to go with it. Let's have a look at the statistics heading into this game, and no surprise, London are basically 1 or 2 in every category, and they'll probably end up number 1 in every category by the end of the season.
Typically, you'd see that in a basketball squad, someone who's really good offensively, they'd have deficiencies or weaknesses at the other end of the floor. This is a team that has not quite got that, but just because they've got the size, the experience, and the knowledge to be able to handle themselves on the defensive end, but offensively, Dan, 93 points a game, incredibly impressive.
And they've got so many weapons that Cassie Breen averages 16, 17 points a game. And we kind of almost forget her. She comes in and just knocks down threes for fun. And they've got so many different weapons, the London Lions, to come with in this game. Well, we are not far away from the WBBL Cup final. Tip-off is almost upon us. We'll be right back after this break.
The keys to winning the cup final are just being ourselves. We can do what we're each meant to do, stay in our lane and play our roles, and we should be all right.
Everyone wants to win a game. We want to go in and play. We're the underdogs. We have nothing to lose.
Welcome back to Birmingham. The teams have gone in for their final huddle before the WBBL Cup final. And this is the first chance for these two teams to get their hands on some silverware this season, and it probably won't be the last. Delighted to say Siobhan has joined us now in commentary. You've been in this situation just a minute from tip-off. A mixture of nerves and excitement?
Yeah, definitely both. More nerves, I think, and then when you step onto the court and the ball gets thrown up, the excitement takes over.
Well, let's take a look at the starting fives for the final here. And when you look at this London lineup, I could pick any of the five and you could tell me how they would be MVP by the end of the game. That's how talented this starting five is.
The scary thing about this five, which is incredibly, incredibly strong, what's coming off the bench is, you know, where the Beckford Norton, you've got such waves of talent here coming off to support this all-star starting five.
And if we take a look at the Newcastle Eagles starters, much has been made about the roster recreation over the last week or two, but Maddie Mcvicker is more than capable of putting the ball in the basket. Chloe Gaynor is a big presence for them inside, Siobhan. They need everybody to have their A game today.
I think they do. Definitely Maddie, Chloe, and also number 7, Jessica Eastforth Yates. If they can play well and settle everybody else, I think, they might be in with a chance. This first 4 minutes is really important.
It's funny because you always think the first couple of minutes of any cup final is really important for the teams to find themselves, to see who's ready for the big stage. But in this one, it's even more important given the Newcastle lineup that they've got for this.
Yeah, definitely. Look, they're looking down the court at Azania Stewart and at Jolin Warner. They are 2 of the best players to ever play the game in Britain, so they're comfortable on any stage that's set for them. So it is important for the Eagles to really try and settle down in this first couple of minutes and just, I think, really focus on defense, try and get some stops and then just allow the offense to come.
Well, the 2 teams are out on court, handshakes all round, and we're almost ready to go. Well, Gaynor and Stewart will get us underway, and it is the London Lions who have the first possession of the WBBL Cup final. It's out to Charles for 3, front iron, and the rebound falls into the hands of the Newcastle Eagles. Sipic. Newcastle taking their time. Here's Mcvicker. Has the mismatch slightly, but in trouble now. Throws the ball away. Here's Jolin Warner. Fakes the 3, takes the 2, and off the mark.
Well, this is really ordinary of a cup final. Both teams a little bit tentative there. Haven't quite gotten the flow yet. Still very early days, but both defenses, as you can see, are at high intensity.
Puts it out to Mcvicker. Her 3 is off the mark. Rebound, Stewart. Winterburn. Cross court it goes to Jolin Warner. Winterburn now down the lane. Good positioning from Stewart. And she is fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws.
I think what you've just seen there as well in this whole play is just how composed and experienced London are. They don't look panicked. They're just settling down into their offense, moving the ball around, and they get something nice and easy underneath in the end.
It all comes with that, starts with the creativity there of Holly Winterburn as well. You've got 2 very good creative players there in Leonard and Winterburn, and you think to yourself, how do you stop 2 of those who can penetrate off the dribble, distribute the ball, as well as scoring themselves?
Yeah, and I think they make it look so easy, but having the ball in your hands and making a decision like that isn't easy, and they make the right one most of the time.
Azania Stewart gets the scoreboard ticking for the first time here in the final. Sipic now for the Eagles. Knocked loose by Jolin Warner, but Fernandez still has possession of the ball. Looking to attack. Gets into the lane and takes the contact. And a chance to go to the line for the first points for Newcastle.
I really like that move. There was not really a whole lot on there offensively. Offensive broken down, so it's a good old-fashioned one-on-one play. And as you can see, Azania Stewart came over to help, but contact was made and Fernandez gets a trip to the line here.
Nice to see how aggressive Newcastle are being right off the start, though. They're just playing their own game, and that's what the coach wanted from them.
Fernandez gets Newcastle's first point of the game. Oh, Jolin Warner on her own underneath, touches it back to Stewart for 2.
That just can't happen off of a foul shot.
No. Absolutely zero transition defense. Gaynor with the head fake, driving in. Offensive foul is the call. Holly Winterburn screams with delight at that after taking the charge.
Well, she's screaming because it was a phenomenal play from her. She wasn't ball watching there. She got across quickly, put her body on the line, and great defensive play there from Holly Winterburn.
Len sets up the play for London. Cross court to Winterburn, looking for room along the baseline, inside to Stewart. Now Winterburn from behind the arc. Ball loose on the floor, and that will be a jump ball possession error. We'll give it to Newcastle.
I just think Azania is so important to their offense. Anytime someone drives, she moves to the right place, she's sealing in the right place, and she gives an outlet or a scoring option inside every single time.
Such a phenomenal story with regards to her as well. She retired way too early.
Yeah.
She was still incredible in every way, in terms of physically and mentally, and her knowledge for this game as well. As you said, Jolin, she is just right place, right time, and that's no coincidence.
Well, Sipic is able to keep that alive for Newcastle and lay in a field goal.
Good play there from Sipic. There's little plays like that that's going to keep belief in this team and keep it close, but good play from her.
Warner on to Charles. Shot clock down to 7 as Leonard fires up the 3. Fernandez with the rebound. Newcastle once again patient on their offense. Now Mcvicker looking to attack. Drives in. Strong off the glass, too strong. Charles with the rebound.
Good interior protection there. Mcvicker undersized against the defender in Charles and stood tall, made her take a difficult shot.
Leader Warner, all strength for 3.
And again there, that was Azania setting the screen on the back end. You can see her just leaving Joe open for 3. She's never going to miss that.
Mcvicker pass is intercepted by Leader Warner. Gets it back, little touch out towards Leonard in the corner. Great ball movement from the Lions. Winterburn off the mark, but Stewart cleans it up for 2.
They just know where they're going to pass it or what decision they're going to make before they even touch the ball.
He's 48 with the quick step, driving in. Sipic crowded out, but gets a shot away. Winterburn comes into the foul line. Good extra pass. Leader Warner's 3 is off the mark. Fernandez and Gaynor able to secure the ball.
Ball movement of London right now is absolutely incredible. It's like it's 6-on-5. The way they're moving the basketball, Newcastle Eagles defense is forever chasing.
Gaynor with the offensive rebound.
I think they're just so selfless, and that's the thing. They make the best play for the team every single time, and they know what that is.
Well, pressure from the defense and the shot clock there for Fernandez. Had to throw up a bit of a prayer. Stewart. Winterburn, nice pass. Again, there seems to be room all over the place. Leader Warner can't take advantage on that occasion. Gaynor trying to scoop up the finger roll. Charles with good work on the rebound.
It's just nothing easy for the Eagles on the other end of the floor. London just that bit stronger and a little bit bigger underneath the rim there.
Yeah, and I think we talk a lot about offense with London, don't we? But the defense is phenomenal, not just on the ball, but off the ball. They're always in rotation, and you know, there's never a free lane to the basket.
Timeout called. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's London 9 and Newcastle 3. And I think it was actually, and it was a Newcastle timeout. And in some ways, it's difficult to say here, because obviously they seem to be trying to take their time. reduce the game clock, if you like, to keep the score down, because that's their best chance. They're not winning if it gets to 100 sort of thing. They've got to keep it low. But in doing that, they then have to almost individually break down one-on-one at the end and hope that somebody's talent will score, whereas at the other end, London are moving the ball.
And they have ridiculous talent at the end of the shot clock if they need it as well. But yeah, I think for Newcastle, it's a good start. I think, you know, they're sticking to their own game plan. You can clearly see that. You know, they've done a good job to keep them to just 9 so far. I just think, like you said, when it gets to sort of the one-on-one game, I think that's where they might struggle. But look, Maddie's had a really good look inside. She's had a wide-open corner 3. Jeff has had a wide-open 3 as well. They're getting shots. They just need to knock them down.
And the sustainability of it as well, you know, you can see that a lot of energy is being exerted here from the Eagles on the defensive end. For London, it's not as difficult to guard someone one-on-one. You know, yes, they're letting the shot clock run down, but, you know, how many times have we seen Chantel Charles, you know, been able to quite easily just stand in front of her, of the opposition, and use her length to make someone into a very difficult shot. So at the moment, you know, incredible start from the Eagles, but they have to find some sort of, you know, high efficient shots in and around the rim.
Well, it's not going to get any easier, because Beckford Norton, who's one of the best on-ball defenders in the league, has just checked in for London alongside Cassie Breen, who's one of the best shooters. Got to get it over here. That was a bit of a mistake there. Fernandez was too busy thinking about what she was going to do next and didn't cross the line within the allotted 8 seconds that you're allowed to bring the ball forward.
Smart decision by coach Mark Clark. Just put a little bit of full court pressure on after the timeout.
Here is Breen with her first look at the basket, and it's all string for Cassie Breen.
It always is now. I don't think I've ever even seen a hit the rim.
It's instant offense, and that was the worry, wasn't it? London were getting good shots, they just weren't hitting. You insert a Cassie Breen into the game and things change.
Turnover again by the Eagles. Jolin Warner getting a hand in there. Here's Breen again, stepped out of bounds.
The basket was too close. She used to go and sit in the stands and shoot it. Give me some room out here, ref. Give me some room.
Just caught her back foot on the sideline. That pass is a little high. Fernandez able to pull that in. Fernandez steps underneath. And it's tipped out of bounds. It will stay with Newcastle.
I think those things are important. 3 Newcastle jerseys go for the offensive rebound and cause Shanice to not be able to rebound, and she just say, well, they've got to do all that every single time.
That's the one weakness I would identify as the London Lions as well. Their defensive rebounds, they're all the way down like 7th in all competitions. So, you know, everything else, they're top pretty much in their rankings, but defensive rebounds is something that they're not as dominant in other categories. So if Newcastle Eagles can somehow crash the boards and get second chance opportunities and give themselves some additional points.
Glad you found one weakness.
Yeah, it was one of them. You're like, really?
How long did it take you?
It's pretty long and hard.
So what were you doing in the hotel room all last night?
The Leonard fires up. I've got a comeback on that, but we'll wait for a break in play. Here's Breen for 3. Back iron. Fernandez with the rebound. Pass is deflected away again. Jolin Warner onto Beckford Norton. It's 4-on-4 at the moment. Here's Beckford Norton. Strings the 3.
Anyone else want to get involved?
She's so tough. Janice Beckford Norton, we've seen her have some incredibly dominant games against the European clubs they faced in Europe Cup this year, and she's that bundle of energy that you'd want coming off the bench.
Fernandez trapped by Stewart, needs some help, gets it away, and Sipic drops it in for 2.
Positive start from Sipic. I think she's been that bright spark so far, both ends of the floor. She's been fearless and brought that energy.
Beckford Norton this time for 3. Right, so my comeback is Lions are best in the league in terms of offensive rebounds against. So the reason their defensive rebounds are low, the reason defensive, because they keep turning the teams over so they don't get a shot off.
Exactly. Dan, I'm not here to try and paint a picture here. I'm just reading the stats as they are. And they're 8th at the moment in defensive rebounds.
Just a little perspiration on the floor to be sorted out.
I think that last play from Eagles was good, but also highlights a little bit the difference that you get the ball stuck on the block, so then somebody cuts. And I think with London what happens is people are already cutting, regardless of whether they get the ball or not, if it's the right cut to make. And that's why there looks like there's so many options everywhere.
That too. It was a big screen, but well taken by Dr. Norton, and another turnover forced by the Lions. Here's Breen. Inside it goes to Robinson. Pulled in by Gaynor.
Nice move there, but good resistance enough. And Chloe Gaynor can do that. Just she's got to stay out of foul trouble, obviously.
Oh, what a shot from Yates for 3.
Oh, plays like that will certainly get you back in a game in a hurry.
Listen, she can catch fire as well. She's one of them players that can close her eyes and score if she gets on, and so she.
Obviously a player you have to locate. Cassie Breen will retaliation there with that 3 in the corner.
Off the mark from Murphy. On top of everything else, struggling a little bit with an injury. But needs must today on the cup final day. Leonard, loads of room, steps into the 2, just towed the line. E48 with the rebound. Few seconds left here if Newcastle can get the ball forward, although Beckford Norton playing great defense, and the block at the end. Tremendous work from Shanice Beckford Norton. And really, London's defense has been the key here in the first quarter. They've opened up a 10-point lead. They've kept Newcastle to just 5 points, and they've got off to the perfect start. It's 15-5. We'll have second quarter action after this break. Welcome back to Birmingham. We're about to get underway with the second quarter of the WBBL Cup final. 18 points to 8. It's a relatively new competition, so I hesitate to go with the records, but 8 is the fewest points scored in a quarter in a WBBL Cup final. Here's Mcvicker. Mcvicker fakes the 3, puts it on the floor instead. Chukwuetu for the triple. Breen chases it down. Charles, cross-court pass to Beckford Norton, trying to lob it inside, but it's broken up before it gets to Paige Robinson.
Wow, you've got that asset inside there, and Paige Robinson, good 6 foot, 6'1", good 2 or 3 inches bigger than Gaynor inside, and Gaynor doing a good enough job of resistance.
The high post entry also drew the defense away from Robinson. You see Gaynor goes to Ume, but she just couldn't quite get that pass exactly on the money, and Robinson unable to hang on to it.
Good hands from Chukwuetu there, just to put off a little deflection there. Now for that ball to sail through the hands of Robinson.
Just a slight difference sometimes in that pass was just literally milliseconds delayed, and that's why, you know, I think she didn't get a clean catch at it.
Chukwuetu onto Gaynor, trying to back down. Good defense to make that a very difficult shot by Ume, but Eagles able to recycle. Gaynor trying to get it to Murphy along the baseline. Floats one up and off. London looking to push. Pass off the mark. Breen keeps it in Lions possession. Breen. Again, she just needs a slightly wider court, doesn't she? That's the second time she stood out of bounds. Timeout is called here by Mark Clark and the London Lions. And I mean, you know Mark pretty well, Siobhan. He's not the sort of guy that's going to tolerate if they're not quite at the top level. It doesn't matter who you're playing, what the score is. You've got to give everything.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that's why he is such a good coach, and he gets the best out of every single team he coaches, is because he's coaching them and he expects them to be at a certain standard, and if they're not, it doesn't matter if they're winning by 40, the situation doesn't matter. He has standard that he's going to hold them accountable to. They're very clear on those standards as players, and if they don't, he's going to tell them about it.
He's been around a long time. He was in cup finals in the early 80s coaching. Crystal Palace it would have been back then. 84, I think it was cup final.
Was I?
No, I know.
Was I around? But, maybe you remember. I'm not sure.
Let's move on. It's a big day for the Clark family as well, with his son Dan playing in the BBL Cup final. Before we get on to my age.
Me and Siobhan are going to locate ourselves in a generation away from you, Dan, okay? So thank you.
But it is a big day for the Clark. Dan's had a great season, hasn't he?
He's 58, brings forward the ball for the Newcastle Eagles. Chukwuetu out to Mcvicker for 3. Beckford Norton in the open court. It's a dangerous sight for opponents. Here's Winterburn, time to set her feet. Mcvicker with the rebound, but stolen away by Ume. Winterburn tries again, and this time gets the roll.
She wasn't going to miss that second time. She had one thing in her mind when that ball got back to her, and this time used a lot of the rim, but got it to go.
Murphy under pressure. Can't force it home.
She struggled so far, hasn't she? She is getting shots, though. She's getting to the rim.
Well, clearly not moving freely, having injured herself in training earlier in the week. And pulls in the rebound.
What an introduction as well to the WBBL.
Yeah. Here's your first game. Get out there in the final. If you could score 20, that'd be great. There's Winterburn. Breen. She can certainly score 20, and she's well on her way with yet another triple.
The pure shooter. I mean, you know, we are marvelling at her shooting sort of percentages right now, but Newcastle have just got to do a better job of locating her.
Nice pass from Gaynor. And Buetu lays it in for her first score of the game.
That's really good inside work there for Gaynor. And Buetu, young, up and coming from the academy. She had a really good showing in the finals last year, and she's been positive since entering the court here today.
Beckford Norton for three, and the looks seem to be getting a little easier here. Maybe fatigue starting to catch the Newcastle Eagles.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier, and they've just got to work so much harder for everything, both offensively and defensively.
Knocked away by Ume. And then she picks it up and points in transition, points off turnovers.
Another good steal from Stephanie Ume, and this is a player as well that you don't talk about enough. She averages 12 points, 7 rebounds in 20 minutes. That is really good for any player of any level of minutes, but in 20 minutes, incredibly efficient.
We've had 7 steals in this game. She's had 2 of them. Because 3 rims out.
Yeah, she's 65% from 2 as well. Like she is so efficient.
And right on cue, she turns the ball over. Here's Eastford Yates. Nice bounce pass to Mcvicker for the lane.
That was a nice offensive transition execution there, and that's been a little bit of their Achilles heel so far today with the Eagles. They've had a couple turnovers, and that one, perfect pass, perfect finish.
Breen back to Winterburn. 5 on the shot clock. Breen working her way through. Too many steps there. Oh no, in fact it's a 3-second violation that's been called on Siumume.
Shame, it was a nice pass that.
London almost back to their starting 5. Just Beckford Norton left of the bench unit out there. That's another turnover by the Eagles. Into double figures now, the turnovers. And Stewart. Out to Winterburn, extra pass, Beckford Norton is caught, and she'll shoot 3 free throws.
And it is just that like presence and awareness of Z, who didn't have anything for herself. She looks to the corner and she sees 2 of her players and 1 of their players, and she knows if I pass the ball to one of my players, it's going to leave the other one open. It's, you know, it seems simple, but to do that whilst playing in a game, it's a smart read by Z.
It's incredibly, I think, something you don't often talk about, but someone like Zania Stewart, you know, she's not, you know, head down. You know, she's got the size advantage trying to make something happen for herself. But as you said, Siobhan, it's just her ability to see the whole floor. And there's a few individuals on this London team as well. They could easily go for their 15 to 20 points a game, but they don't. They consciously sacrifice their own individual statistics, goals, etc. for the greater good, and that's how you get a team that are averaging 93 points a game, and it looks so fluid on offense.
Definitely. I think the thing is their experience, and they just respect the game. They play the game the way the game should be played, and I think if you're a young player watching this right now, this is a perfect example of why basketball is so beautiful, and that's how it should be played.
2-2-1 zone press there for the Lions, coming off that free throw mate. That's good ball movement. Shot overcooked. Zivic is able to keep it alive, but no reset of the shot clock, so they've got to go quick here, Newcastle. Fernandez gets it away in time, but misses everything, and that will be a shot clock violation.
And again, it was good initial defense there from the London Lions, and Eagles were able to get themselves a second chance opportunity, but again, the defense stands strong enough, and very difficult shot from Fernandez there.
He's in a zone defense. Watch the shooters. They're all over the place. Here's one of them, Winterburn. You also got to get the rebound on those. It's often easier in a zone to lose the player and forget the ball. Nice pass over to Leonard. Shot clock getting low here. Jolin Warner to Winterburn on the shot clock buzzer. Beckford Norton bats it down. Stewart grabs it. Newcastle happy to see that one.
Yeah, they are indeed. I was thinking exactly the same thing about Gaynor in particular. Is thinking, phew, thank goodness for that.
I think I was a bit like, oh, okay, good.
Newcastle calling a timeout here. 3 minutes from half-time, 31-12. The zone defense, would you stick with that? I mean, you've got to try different things.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's twofold, isn't it? It's difficult to guard man-to-man against the wealth of talent that they've got.
Pick your poison. Let's just say it how it is.
Exactly.
Pick your poison. What do you do?
What do you do? And then also, I think, you've got to try and control the tempo somewhat. You've got to slow the game down a little bit, stop transition. She's got a tough job on her hands. But I think she's doing a good job so far in mixing up the defences for her team. And yeah, you've got to throw it all at them, haven't you? What else can you do?
Lions are currently, they're 6 of 19, so 31% from the three-point line, so they're not exactly... Oh, Vince McCauley is in attendance there.
In the building, of course, formerly, we have to say now, of the London Lions. The men's coach, no more, but he has come to support the women's team, and it's great to see Vince here. It's almost not a British basketball occasion if Vince is not here.
I'm a little bit disappointed he's wearing a subtle jacket down.
I was going to say exactly the same thing. I usually love to wait and see what is he going to wear.
He's almost blending in here.
Oh no, he's got a nice waistcoat. Is that a waistcoat?
Oh, there we go. There's the Vince we know.
There's the style. Great to see him.
Lions badge on there, or am I reading through something?
Got good eyesight. I've not seen that. It's good to see him supporting the women's game too.
Here come Newcastle, stolen away by Beckford Norton.
Beckford Norton's anticipation and energy is incredible.
Looking for a drive along the baseline. Heck of a pass out to Leonard, but she stepped on the line first.
It's almost a little bit like Newcastle. Yeah, there she is. Go out of bounds. They're almost not allowing, but they would rather than London beat them from the three. I think that, they're packing the inside quite well.
Well, they've got 6 made 3-pointers, only 2 made 2-pointers. You just got to hope they miss. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And at the minute, they're 35% from 3-point range.
I think Jo's missed a couple as well, and that isn't going to continue. She's 45% from 3.
Nina getting to the basket, takes the foul, and she will go to the free throw line.
Chloe Gaynor knew she was in for a tough night physically, tough day today. Again, tacking right, going to her strong hand. Nice move.
And what a season she's had so far. She's second for them in points, 8 rebounds as well. She's just a smart player inside, and she's a really positive person to have around the club and the team. I really enjoy playing with Chloe.
She has her first points of the ball game. the high post. Charles out to Jolin Warner. Charles trying to get the offensive rebound. Came off a Newcastle player last, so it will be a London ball.
I have to see that one again myself. So Charles battling for it inside.
I don't think it went out, would be my take. Stewart. Winterburn for three, knocks it down.
It's just good luck again from the post, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just basketball, isn't it? Pass it into the post, pass it out of the post, in and out, wide open shot, knock it down. Simple, eh?
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Newcastle training 31-12. Fernandez driving hard through the contact, gets the bucket and will go to line for a bonus.
Every shot I feel like she's had today has been shot clock winding down, hand in the face, and finally she's been able to get one to go, but boy was that a great move. Spins inside there and Zarka's shot off the glass. Tough play from Fernandez.
Yeah, she's been really, really aggressive today. She's putting her body on the line for her team, that's for sure.
That's what you want from your team captain. Lead by example, regardless of the chaos and how tough things are getting. Just keep playing hard. And again, something you'd want to, as a team, you'd want to look to your leader.
Can't convert the three-point play though. Winterburn's pass a little bit out of reach of Robinson, but Fernandez stepped out of bounds as she came up with the loose ball, so it'll stay with the Lions. Round it comes to Leonard. Winterburn drives, kicks. Leonard for three, 7th one of the half for the London Lions.
Great connection there between Leonard and Holly Winterburn, and Kennedy Leonard is showing us that she's more than a past first point guard in knocking down that three.
Warner keeps that in play. Leonard, a little bump from Mcvicker.
Again, they pass up the shots that they have early in the shot clock because they know they're going to get them later on. You know, Jo was wide open again there. She could have taken it, she didn't. And they got a good result out of it.
You're right, Sean. That is the key to the key explanation of this team. They turn down good shots for great shots. They don't need to do it early, and as you say, they keep rotating the ball, wear down the defense, they're going to get better luck.
Inside the final minute, 37-16 the score in favor of the Lions. That's going to be an offensive foul on Winterburn.
Good defensive stand there by Chloe Gaynor. Got a body in the position, and Holly Winterburn, as we know, she's so good when she penetrates in there, but this time Gaynor beating her to the spot.
Winterburn's second foul, so she will sit down for the remaining 47 seconds of this first half. It's a 21-point lead in favor of the Lions. All sorts of pressure. It's Gaynor getting a first probably easy score of the, certainly in the half court that the Eagles have had.
She deserves it too. She's worked hard enough for it. They did a really good job to get out of that trap in the corner, and Gaynor was able to convert that easy layup.
Robinson, good position inside. It's 10 seconds left here in the first half. Newcastle trying to get one final score. Gaynor down to 5. Mcvicker stolen away. Jolin Warner glances at the clock, but can't quite get the ball under her grasp for a shot. Didn't really need it, to be honest with you. A dominant first half for the London Lions. They will go into the locker room with a 39 to 18 point lead.
And they've been just that, haven't they, down both ends of the floor. They've brought discipline, they've brought energy, and it's not just been the starting 5 as well. We've seen injections from Beckford Norton coming off the bench and causing damage.
Well, the shooting numbers tell a story. 8 made 3-pointers by the London Lions, just 1 at the other end. That 21 points is a second quarter record in the Cup final. They've kept them defensively to 8 points in one quarter and 10 points in another, forcing turnovers and getting out on the run.
Yeah, I think a big thing as well is they've kept Maddie Mcvicker quiet. She's not had any open shots. She's only taken 3 threes. That 2 of those 3 were difficult as well. So they've kept her under control, and that's only going to be a good thing for them too.
Well, they have got plenty of work to do, the Newcastle Eagles. 10 steals from the London Lions really has put the pressure on, and it's hard enough to score points, but they haven't always got some shots away. We'll get some half-time reaction. Drew is courtside.
Holly, slow start shooting the ball, but you guys seem to be settling in now.
Yeah, it's just about rhythm. We've got to catch the ball in rhythm. Doesn't matter if we're open or not. We've got to keep ourselves accountable and get ourselves ready to shoot. It's on us. Like, it's not good enough, and we need to be better.
Only 18 points for the Newcastle Eagles. What's been the keys defensively?
Just playing hard and sticking to our rules and being in the help side. Like, we're trying to deny the reversal and everything, so we've had a few steals being in help side. We just got to play hard. Like, our defense leads to our offense. We just got to keep playing hard.
And record-breaking crowd here. How important is this stage for women's basketball?
Oh, it's amazing. It's really good to see so many people here, and I just got to keep building on it and give them a show. Like, we've got to play better and make people want to come back.
Thanks for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Interesting that Holly Winterburn was saying the Lions need to improve on that first half performance, because from where we were sitting, it looked right on point. 21-point lead at the half. Reaction and analysis coming next. Welcome back to Birmingham, where at the half in the WBBL Cup final, the Lions, as expected, in control, looking for their first silverware of an already impressive season. 39-18 represents a 21-point lead, which could be insurmountable for the Eagles, although, as we heard from Holly Winterburn in her halftime chat with Drew, the Lions aren't particularly happy, Kieran Achara, with how that half went.
Yeah, I mean, they've been very composed, they've been getting great looks, but they haven't been shooting at an astronomical rate. You know, they average 93 points a game in all competitions, so they've got more to give.
Dominating, as you're seeing there, pretty much across the board statistically. Look at the steals, 10-2. And in terms of the overall control that London have had, bench points, we're seeing they're 21-2, as expected. But the overall control that they've had, emphasised, I guess, by how they've played quite distinctly offensively and defensively, Drew Lasker. Very patient offensively.
Yeah, they're doing a great job in moving the ball. Newcastle's sitting there in a 2-3 zone, so they're getting some looks. But we know in this environment, it's tough to shoot. But on the defensive end of the ball, they're just they're a nuisance.
Just elaborate on that. Why is it tough to shoot in this environment?
Well, you got to understand, the rims are new, the balls are brand new. You don't get much preparation time in here. And most importantly, the depth perception. There's not an arena in the WBBL that's quite like this, and it's difficult. You notice on the shots, they're all short.
So calm and patient offensively, even if they're shooting, they would like to sharpen up. But defensively, tenacious was the word that you leant over and said to me as the half was playing out.
Yeah, tenacious, and I think Holly alluded to it in our talk there. You know, there's principles. You know, they're in the positions, they've got active hands, they're getting so many deflections. I was saying that Jolin Warner, she's actually getting so many deflections, they're not going to class it as steals in the stat sheet, but completely changing the game. So Newcastle getting nothing easy.
Unsung hero getting the hard work done there. Azania Stewart, let's look at her first half performance. She was a player that we keyed in on, such a crucial player for this Lions side, of course. Talk us through how she was getting involved, and actually much of what you were saying, Kieran, she was just interfering play throughout the course of the first half.
Yeah, she's just always in the right place at the right time, but at the same time using her length. You know, she keeps the ball up high, got great touch around the basket, and then again, so she's creating more opportunities for her team with offensive rebounds, but then she's a great presence to give the ball inside, knowing that she's going to have safe hands to finish.
Cassie Breen, another player that we want to look at, again to emphasise, I think, the strength in depth and the unselfish teamwork that is going on offensively.
Yeah, she's just instant offense. At a time where London was struggling to shoot, she comes in the game, first shot, nothing but net. And that's what she does for this team. She's instant offense and a great spark.
That jump shot is just so pure as well. You know, I think she would have made some more if she could keep her foot in bounds. You know, she was stepping out of bounds a couple of times. But just such, gets her spot, quick release, such a smooth jump shot.
And that fluency and unselfishness we're seeing across the London Lions side as well. On the Eagles side, Drew, I have to talk to you because we all know your long-standing association with the team, but you've been very close to this side over the last couple of weeks, given the events that have happened. You've been coaching them.
Yeah, 10 days ago, I was asked to take over in the interim for the WBBL team and the Bucks team. And, you know, at first I said no because I didn't have the time with my schedule, but then I thought about it. And I wanted to help the girls out. And more importantly, I wanted to help the organization that's been so great for me for over the years. So credit to those girls that's coming out and battling today.
It's so challenging to prepare for a cup final with so little notice. You were saying that Noelia's first practice with the team was on Thursday.
72 hours ago, literally Thursday, she steps in, meets these girls for the first time as head coach. And it's just been a complete whirlwind. So I want to paint these girls as heroes to be able to come in this environment. You talk about the Fab Four, including the 3 players in Noelia, to come in this environment, battling the best team in the league, and coming out and competing.
Yeah, with Drew coaching, I would expect a lot more corner jump shots, but you know.
What do you think Coach Kachira will be saying to our players right now, given what the picture Drew has just painted and given the first half we've just seen?
I think it's that, you know, they're here, they're deserving to be here. You know, they have to enjoy this moment. So they've got nothing to lose. You know, they have to keep their head up and just keep playing hard. And I think that's the only message you can be given at half-time at this moment in time.
When you're in a situation like this as a player, what are you saying to yourself, and particularly what the leaders in that locker room are saying right now?
Well, the thing that I said to them this week was, this is an opportunity on the big stage to see where you are as a player, that measuring stick against the best, to come out and measure yourself not only individually, but as a team as well.
And it's important, of course, that London, not that they would, based on what we know of them, but it's important they don't get complacent, even though they're in control at the moment and a big, big lead.
They have too many leaders in that locker room to allow that to happen. They're going to stick, like I said, stick to their principles. It's a bigger picture, but they constantly want to evolve as a team and keep on improving. So that's definitely going to be the message in the locker room. Just stick with it.
All right, brilliant stuff, guys. Excellent stuff from the London Lions in the first half. Is there any way back for the Newcastle Eagles? We knew it was going to be a tall order, and they are battling. But this is a formidable opponent they are facing right now. Let's find out if the comeback is on. Second half coming next. Welcome back to Birmingham. The fans thoroughly enjoying themselves. The first of our double header, not to mention the Slam Dunk Contest we have in between the WBBL and BBL Cup final. London in control at the half. Is there any way back for Newcastle? Let's find out and head back to Siobhan and Dan.
Thank you very much, Nat. Well, one thing we know about Mark Clark is he will be even keel all the way through. He's not going to say, oh, we've got the job done, just go out and enjoy the second half. He's going to fire them up, tell them what they did wrong in the first half and where the improvements are.
Yeah, definitely. Look, they've got a job to do. They know that their job is to continue to raise the level and the standard and the bar for women's basketball in Britain, and they're doing that. They've done it all season long, and that's their mission. They have to focus on their goals. They have to focus on what they want to get out of this game as well, and he's not going to let anything lie.
And that's a short-term goal, is what you're speaking about. The short-term goal for them is to win as much as they can this year. I think Coach Mark Clark strikes me as a guy who wants to build a dynasty here for years and years and years to come. So this is setting the tone now for everything to come. Yeah, yes, you might be up by 20 and you take the foot off the gas, and yes, you could still win this game, but next game, if you were to do that, that's a loss. So I think for him, culture is very important, and making sure his players understand the magnitude of where they currently are.
Look, it's not only him, you know, Joe, Azania, all of the other players have said just having them with them on their team, on court with them, in the locker room, on the bus at practice, they hold everybody accountable in the same way that Mark does as well. So yeah, no one's getting away with anything right now. They're going to have to play 100% all the time.
And I'm guessing the other end of the floor, Newcastle, would be just almost more of the same. You just keep going, sort of thing.
Yeah, talking to the coach at the start of the game, you know, she said this is really a starting point for us. You know, we're starting here. This is where we start to build who we are as a team and who we are as a women's basketball organisation moving forward. And that's what they're doing, and I think so far so good. For me, I think they've played really well.
Back underway here in Birmingham. Turnover grabbed once again by Stewart. 11 steals in total in the game for London. Winterburn. Deflected away. Newcastle get it back.
Well, much like the start of this basketball game, both clubs a little bit tentative on the offensive end, not able to convert.
Here's Eastford Yates. Steps back for three. Round for Winterburn. Stewart has a great position, ran down court, sealed straight away.
And that's what we talked about. You know, she just runs the ring. She's so disciplined. She does everything a big should do every single time.
For all those up-and-coming bigs, do your work early, and Azania Stewart, prime example there of doing that and getting easy too.
She held that seal for like minutes, wasn't
well, that was the thing, is we all sort of looked out and she sealed and it's like, wow, great position.
As a defender, I'm the one screaming, 3 seconds to the key!
100%.
There she is again with another good post move, scooping it up underneath the rim.
Wow, just showing us her array of moves there, and again, it all starts with her running the floor, doing the simple things very well.
Speaking of running the floor, here comes Winterburn on another steal, trying to get it to Leonard. Leonard diving on the ground. Managed to get that pass away, and it was kicked out of bounds by Gaynor.
Good hustle for Eagles to get back there, because that's 2 players. It's a certified bucket there between those 2 point guards running the floor, but Eagles do a good enough job of just getting bodies back there and prevented that easy 2-on-1.
Passes over the top. Made out of bounds. I don't know if Jolin Warner thought there was somebody else in
behind
the corner.
It, yeah, maybe.
Yates. Under all sorts of pressure, 5-second violation, great pressure on the ball from Kennedy Leonard.
That's the thing, you're up by 23, you're still playing like it's a 0-0, and plays like that from Leonard will set the tone for the rest of the team.
Also, the others are denying, like nobody left their player open.
Leonard driving to the basket, doesn't get the roll. Mcvicker looking to push. Fernandez throws it away. Leonard again in the passing lane. Back to Winterburn. Leonard now for 3. Strings it.
Beautiful offense there. If you saw Leonard pushes the basketball, Azania Stewart's running straight down the middle as hard as she can. She's not involved in the play, but what it does is it sucks in the defense. The ball gets kicked back out to Leonard, and she hits the 3.
And they just reward players all the time. You know, again, Holly could have shot that shot. Ken made the defensive play. She pushed the ball. She got it back in the corner for the shot. a treat watching them play.
Well, they couldn't get the ball
Really
in
is.
there. Charles runs it back. Charles lays it in. And Charles will go to the line for a bonus free throw.
Chantel Charles, someone who's experienced and had a really good start to this game defensively, and this time showing her strength to power that ball up through, and nice left-hand finish.
Well, we said Mark Clark will probably have pointed out where they could improve at half-time. They've come out. If this goes in, it's a 10-2 start in 3 minutes, but it's been driven by their defense.
Yeah, and again, just the caliber of player to be able to take that instruction. It sounds easy. Your coach tells you what to do, you do it. It's not. Take that instruction and consistently perform it on the court, and that's what they've done.
It's driving through, no way past Charles. Winterburn to Leonard, steps into the three and knocks it down. And that is the Lions' 10th three-pointer of the game. And they have exploded out here in the third quarter, 13-2.
That's the ability they've got to just turn a game on its head. Suffocating defense down one end, and then just, as simple as it is, 5-6 seconds off the shot clock there, and Kennedy Leonard just steps into that three like it's a layup.
Yeah, and it just puts so much pressure on the opposing team. Every shot, every decision you make, you know that if you don't get it right, they're going to capitalise every single time. It's difficult playing a team like this.
Their lead now is out to 32 points. Mentioned earlier, the WBBL Cup as a competition has only been going for a few years. Of course, prior to that, teams used to play in the National Cup. Anybody know what the record-winning margin is in the Cup final?
Any Cup final, right?
Any Cup final, yeah.
I'm going to go with 31.
I'm going to go
Close.
bigger.
Yeah,
I was going to go 42.
No. In a Cup final, no. I'm disappointed, Siobhan, that you didn't mention the 2011 Cup final.
Oh, was that Ronda?
Sheffield 87, Nottingham 55.
Was I in that?
You had 14 points.
Oh, yeah, I did. In 2011.
Yeah.
What was that?
But that wasn't the biggest one. That was the second biggest one.
Oh,
33 is the record.
Oh, I was 2 off.
When did you start going to Cup finals, Siobhan? What age were you?
I don't know. When I was...
Would you have gone when you were about 4?
Probably.
Okay, then you might have been there. Sheffield 79, Nottingham 40.
Oh, I would have been there.
6. Radmilla Turner with 17, and James
Wow.
13. Lorraine Ellis played on that team.
What a point guard.
Betty Cadona would have been coaching. She's over on the front row over there.
Betty used to ask me when I was little, because my dad coached the Nottingham team. Every year, Betty, who was coaching the women's team at Sheffield, used to say to me, "Do you want to come and be our mascot at Wembley?" And I used to say to her, "No, my dad's going to make it to the cup final. I'll be the mascot for them, thanks." Bless her.
Well, it's actually a joint record. Also in 1989, the old Avon team, Northampton, 94-61 against London YMCA, and Susie Hockerstrand played in that game. She sat over there as well. So there's a couple of people from
she's there. Yeah.
back in the day in the building.
Was that the 80s, Northampton?
Yeah, 89, late 80s. Yeah.
What a force they were in the 80s.
Vicker in the key for 2.
That's a tough move, and nice spin there into the danger area of the defense, and nice hook shot finish there from Maddie Mcvicker.
Nice drive, and it squeezes in for Stewart.
Can't speak highly enough of how much of an influence she's had on this game. Herself another 2 to go.
Yeah, massive influence. Even when she's not scoring, just her presence.
London ball from the corner. Winterburn round the screen. Back to Charles. Hume with the set shot at the elbow.
And it was one of those ones where Holly Winterburn with the steal, they're going to get another shot, another offense here.
Newcastle struggling to get it over the halfway line for a minute. It's just moving the ball freely. Doesn't hit the ring, so they've got to go quick here. Winterburn, one extra pass. Charles has to get it away. It's deflected, and Newcastle have the ball, so they'll keep playing.
They've really ramped up their defensive pressure.
Yeah, to the point where it's even difficult for them to get it over half court and then into their sets.
They're almost fighting for who gets it to go the other end.
Ooh, Mcvicker almost lost the ball. Ume trying to knock it away, commits the foul.
Frustrating foul there. I could hear Coach.
I don't think
Mark Clark
was massively impressed, but she appears to. Ooh, got a cut eye out of that as well, Mcvicker. So she'll have to go and get the bleeding stopped. Wow, gosh, that's come up quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah,
well, we commented on the unfortunate period that Newcastle Eagles have went through over the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't seem to be ending here with import player Maddie Mcvicker now in the cut on her face.
I think Ume there got done for exactly the same thing. Deep breath.
It was just a collision as she was going after the ball, Ume. That's caused a lot of problems for Mcvicker, as you can see. Fernandez driving along the baseline. No way past. Winterburn does get a shot off in the end, and that will be a held ball, and the possession arrow will give it to London. Here's another look. Watch. Ume sees the ball, goes after it. It's a bang of heads.
Yeah. Completely accidental. That's got to hurt, though.
If you're just tuning in, I promise this is basketball, not rugby.
Winterburn to Jolin Warner. Beckford Norton. Rims out.
Absolutely packed in here right now.
Getting a break with Cassie Breen checking in. Cross court to Fernandez, driving in and scores.
Nice play there, and I've liked Fernandez's intent from start to finish. She's played hard and she stayed aggressive, and on that occasion got a very difficult shot to go.
Stolen away. Zipic has it. Into the gate. Hits the deck. No whistle. Winterburn. Through it where Beckford Norton was rather than where she was going.
I think these spells show as well that London can have, little minute spells here or there where they are making mistakes, and Newcastle really have to try and capitalise on those.
It's human nature, isn't it? We've all been there. We've been up by 30, and the fear of losing's gone, and you're sort of one part of your mind's on the next stage, and that's getting your hands on that trophy. That's a very dangerous game to play when you're in this setting, but naturally you take your foot off the gas.
Jolin Warner hits the triple. Arms up in the air to celebrate. One going in. She's missed a few today, Jolin Warner. So she feels a little relieved that one went in.
I think she's not used to doing it.
out of bounds for a London possession. Winterburn. Just fouled. That's on the floor.
That's where she can play as well. Shot clock winding down. You want to get the ball in Holly Winterburn's hands or Kennedy Leonard, because those are the two that arguably the best in the league at that shot clock winding down, limited options, because they can create and they're so good at creating for not only themselves but for their teammates as well.
Yeah, and they go past their first defender with quite a lot of ease to get themselves into the paint.
Beckford Norton. Around the three-point line it goes to Jolin Warner. Kicked out. Green at the end of the shot clock. Boumet with the offensive rebound. Beckford Norton driving in. Substitutions both ways.
Nice to see Lavinia stepping onto the court. Number 8, she's one of the academy players. She's got a nice three-point shot on her.
They need another three-point shooter.
Well, they are. Well, I was going to say they are missing a three-point shooter. I mean, they're horrendous behind the arc.
Just the 11 for 27 so far. 8-second violation. Didn't get it across the line in time.
It's for Yates, another one who just battled from tip. Well, she's had a difficult night just because of the opposition in front of her, but again, I quite like her fearless mentality.
Green loses possession. Knocked away from Murphy.
Recovery there from London. You thought that was an easy layup there, and hands there, bodies in the way.
Beckford Norton is like a pogo stick there, jumping up and down.
Really
incredible bounce.
So athletic. As soon as her feet touch the floor, she's straight back up. It's like she's on a trampoline.
Green over the top and out of bounds. Lavinia for three. Oh, I thought you'd just teed that one up nicely. Great defense again from Leonard and Beckford Norton to force a held ball at least. It's not a turnover because the possession arrow stays with Newcastle.
That highlight has been like that from the day dot, isn't it, today? The London's defense has just been that suffocating energy that's made things very difficult for this Newcastle Eagles offense.
Back to Lavinia's three-point shot though. What an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
For an academy kid to be able to be on this
great
level.
block by Stewart. Here's Leonard. Breen for three. Cassie Breen a little bit short. Murphy with the rebound. Shot clock is off. Newcastle can take the last. Well, they're going to go quick here as the drive in from Mcvicker.
Look at that. She's got a hit on the head, cut on the face,
New
doesn't
Jersey.
care. Zero fear whatsoever. That is someone right there that I have the utmost respect for. Barely patched up, and here she is again going against a bigger, stronger defender, initiating the contact.
Yeah, she's a tough competitor.
It just threw me for a second because obviously she must have got blood on her
Number
shirt.
11,
and
yeah.
I'm thinking, wait, who's number 11? It looks like Mcvicker. Who's 11? She got a sister that I hadn't been aware of.
Yeah. Change of jersey. Her name is now Kelshaw.
Well, sometimes when you get hit in the face too, it doesn't feel great. So you tend to come in the game again. I'll take a couple set shots and maybe not attack the rim as much. But Mcvicker didn't get the memo.
Here's Leonard taking it down for the end of the third quarter. Stolen away from the half court. That didn't look too far away from Chukwu Etu for 3. But another very good quarter for the London Lions. They've stretched their lead by another 11 points. They are 10 minutes away from a first ever WBBL Cup final. We will have the fourth quarter when we return. Welcome back to Birmingham, where we're ready to go with the fourth quarter here. London Lions with a 59-27 lead as they look to get their hands on this trophy for the first time. No room for Beckford Norton. Newcastle with numbers here. And a 3 frees for Yates, and not far. Coaches the game, not the scoreboard, because he's called a timeout after one turnover. He called it before they got the shot away, so it was in relation to the turnover rather than the bucket at the other end.
Yeah, and I think, they haven't come out strong in the last quarter. They didn't come out, they made one mistake. He's not letting them come out not strong here, but he just wants to get a handle on things. And also, you have to play your game, don't you? You can't, because the score is so big, you can't drop the level of your own performance. So he's just reminding them of that now.
Well, it hasn't been a perfect performance in terms of, been a very good performance, but having the perfect performance, this is a team that averages 12 turnovers a game. They're currently sitting on 15. And I think, like I said, he's a coach that's playing for now, but also the future. You've got Sevenoaks Suns, you've got Sheffield, other teams that will punish you if you're not playing good enough basketball for a long period of time. So, clearly he's frustrated and he wants to nip that in the bud before this eats into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, definitely. The level of basketball in this league is such that if you do turn the ball over, you are going to get a corner 3 hit on you in the next possession down. So they have to keep themselves consistent.
Yeah, but the poor dance team had only just run off the court. They'd done 2 minutes and they had to come running back on.
Yeah, they weren't sure. They weren't sure what routine I think they should have been doing.
Mark Clark has got no empathy whatsoever for the routine, Dan.
Freestyle.
Here's Breen. Lavinia for 3. Might get her own rebound. Keeps it alive. Good hustle. Stewart at the top of the key, and second chance points for the London Lions.
Superstar Azania Stewart, that takes her to 14 points personal, leading all scorers, and she hasn't done a whole lot wrong today, has she?
No, she really, really hasn't. And just a great play as well by Lavinia. You know, you've got Z, who's had such an amazing career, and then Lavinia, who's just at the start of hers.
Stewart hasn't missed a single shot for 14 points. Here's Leonard for 3. And she's grabbed her 4th offensive rebound. Oh, a turnover to block the Coffin hook. There's Mcvicker pushing hard, but caught by Leonard.
Good foot speed there from Kennedy Leonard to be able to recover there and take away that easy layup for Mcvicker.
And I think that's what that timeout was about, wasn't it? We still do those things. We're still going to, you know, chase the ball down.
Dermot into the game for the first time. Joe Leadham returning as well.
Great to see Leah back on the court. Grew up playing her basketball in Manchester and went out to the States. She's been in Germany as well. It's really nice to see her on the British stage.
And here she is, straight into bringing the ball up and running the offense. Lavinia round to Breen. Stewart. It's ball movement. Dermot shot is off the mark. Nice shot from the top of the key.
Tough move there. She's had a really good game. 8 points personal for her, and she's been tough.
Yeah, she's really got a nice stroke. She can shoot the ball.
Breen. A bit too much. That's a control of the foot there by Sipic. Transfer window's still open. Newcastle United might be after a player. Charles comes back into the game. Dermot to Charles. Inside to Stewart. Stewart is now 7 of 7 from the floor.
Great position as well. Again, she moves when the ball moves. She knows where she needs to seal.
Nice pass. Back out to Mcvicker for 3. Knocks it down.
She's still going. Mcvicker doing it in a number of ways. This time knocking it down from outside. First one to get into double digits. 10 points personal.
McDermott back to Leadham Warner. And Stewart continues perfection.
Thought she was going to miss.
Don't be silly.
She's taken 10 shots from all distances. They've all gone in. Sipic is fouled by Leadham Warner, will shoot 2.
It's a nice pass inside, and Sipic has shown she's capable and useful inside. What that does is it just doesn't give the opposition an easy layup. You know, the foul's taken there, a good foul from Leadham Warner, and Sipic is going to have to earn it from the free throw line.
She's had a really solid performance today, though, hasn't she? She's been really tough for them. Done the little things.
Makes them both from the line. Bit of full court pressure here now from the Eagles. Jolin Warner for three. Knocks down her third triple of the game.
It took her a little bit longer to get going from out there, but she's just a incredible scorer of the basketball.
Murphy inside, first points of the game.
And such a selfless player as well. You know, she has had shots that she's, like we said before, passed up. She's just being patient. She'd rather win than anything else.
Charles out to McDermott for three, and suddenly they're all flying in.
Just the ball movement is incredible, and the option again was to try and feed it inside to Stewart, but there was a better option on the other side of the floor, and that was a McDermott open three.
Lions in the open court. Stewart top of the key, and still perfect.
Every time she shoots, I'm like, right, stop shooting now. You don't risk it. Don't risk it.
20 points with no misses for Azania Stewart. By the way, again, small sample size, cup final records, but the most makes in a game with no misses is one. Nobody's ever taken 2 shots without missing.
No way.
In a cup final. Again, 5-year cup final. And we talked earlier about the biggest winning margin. I talked about cup. The actual biggest winning margin in a non-cup final, in a playoff final, Tigers 91, and the brilliantly named Corvids Cornets 48. I think they were based based in Luton.
All right.
Where, sorry? Based in Luton, 91-48, 1980 playoff final. Carol Andrew had 22 points. Carol Andrew is littered through all of those record wins. That was in a single game. There was actually at one point they played 2 legs in the cup final.
Yeah, in the final.
Yeah.
Really?
And Avon beat Bolton by 49 over 2 legs. So Susie Hoxham was in that game as well. Just to give Susie another shout out.
I really would love to get inside your laptop.
There you go.
So many interesting stats. I feel like you could probably recall most of them as well, just in your brain.
Well, I don't know that I would have recalled Corvids. I don't even think I can say
Cornet,
it
Cornet, Corvids, Hornet. What if they're watching now?
I know. Apologies to them. I do remember the Avon team of the 80s, the dominant team that they were, of course.
Another funny story about that.
Go on.
I remember watching one of their games and Wildcats.
Not
when
in the
I was,
80s.
Well, when I was little, I think I must have been about 3 or 4 or something, and we lost. And I had such a tantrum, was crying, and I kicked the bin over. I got told off by our centre. I'll never forget Sam Parry turned around, she's like, "No, don't do that."
The funny thing is, you probably did that at 33 as well.
I am who I am.
Here comes Fernandez in transition, just loses the ball. Winterburn. Jolin Warner along the baseline. Again, they just keep moving it to fight. Oh, a little bit short from McDermott, but they still have a little bit of time on the shot clock. And Newcastle with a defensive breakdown gives Jolin a layup.
It was like a decoy. Jolin had the ball under the basket. She dribbles out a roundabout circle and comes back to the same spot, and this time the defense, it seemed to just disappear.
I think Paige Robinson was sealing on the baseline.
Charles with the rebound. Jolin Warner drops it off to Robinson. Winterburn, nice pass. Oh, McDermott couldn't finish it off.
It wasn't a basketball, it's just beautiful basketball, just the movement and the knowledge as well where everyone is. This, to me, looks like a team who's played additional games in Europe. They've had those repetitions, they've had those periods of games where they've had adversity, they've had highs, they've had lows, because it's a team that's in sync.
Winterburn, front iron on the 3. McVicker driving hard again, taking it at the defense. No points on that occasion. That just needed the score at the end, but again they've been crashing the offensive glass as well. The Lions 13 offensive rebounds. McVicker for 3, knocks it down. Two and a half minutes away from London claiming their first silverware of the season. 48 racing down court, lays it up, and they may be 2 minutes and 15 seconds away from victory, but you wouldn't know it from the coach. He's called a timeout here. 77-44.
Eastfall Yates there running the floor. She's been energized from start to finish, and she's 10 points personal for her. And as you said, Dana, coach wants perfection, and Mark Clark has showed that even throughout this period of game where there's been little lulls from this London team. He's called a timeout and he's tweaked it, he's rectified it, and his team have responded, to be fair, at every asking they've responded well. So I think it's a case of one more ask here to finish this. 2 minutes 15 seconds.
Well, they've won every quarter so far. They are winning this quarter, but only by a point. They've given up 17 in the fourth quarter, which is the most they've given up in a period so far. I'm sure that's something he's talking about. You see 18-17 in the fourth. Leonard brings it forward for London as we approach the final 2 minutes of the game. Aggressive drive to the basket.
Nice move there. Fatima Janae entering the game. She's one of the up-and-coming Academy star players. She's had a couple 30-point plus games already in her own age group, and now getting the opportunity to play on this big stage. And a good promising start from this rising star.
Well, that is, I mean, the development of Barking Abbey becoming part of the London Lions and rebranding in the Lions in the WBBL does give the opportunity for these young players to get exposure at this level.
Well, and she gets to play with Holly Winterburn, Eden Warner, Zania Stewart, all these players that would be, role models and heroes to her growing up.
Here's Leonard. Robinson with the offensive rebound and put back.
Paige Robinson, someone, you can't teach height there. Good hands from her to keep it high, and nice soft finish off the glass.
Mcvicker for 3. Might come all the way back to her. Great rebound by Sipic, blocked from behind by Kennedy Leonard. Leonard for 3, knocks it down. 14 threes in the game for the Lions.
Leonard just changed her mind at that last second that she was going to swing the ball one more time, as you can see. But what it did is it shifted the defense a tad bit, which gave her that time and space to get off that three.
Well, they've taken 41 threes and only 30 two-point shots, but they've made 14 three-pointers, and that has paced their offense, and their defense has been relentless from tip to, well, we're almost at the buzzer now, and they've forced another turnover. Winterburn makes it 15 from behind the arc.
Wow, again, extra pass there, and Holly Winterburn knocks it down.
Well, given everything that's gone on in the Newcastle Eagles camp over the last couple of weeks, they came here as absolutely monster underdogs, and they've given as best as they can, really. They're going to go out of here having lost by 40, but they can be proud of the effort that they put out there in the circumstance.
Oh, I 100% agree, and I mean this in a not a condescending way, but every individual I see that's touched the floor tonight from Newcastle Eagles, I thought brave, aggressive, you know, no fear mentality. There's not one individual there I would say that is that the occasion's got the best of them, and I think that's a really, really difficult thing to do. In particular, number 11 here, playing to the dying seconds. Maddie Mcvicker, we've seen blood, and it hasn't changed her aggressiveness and wanting to change the game.
Time expires, and the London Lions are the WBBL Cup champions. Mark Clark and his team have the first of what they hope is 4 trophies this season, and they will enjoy this one today. A dominant display led from tip to buzzer, and a very, very professional performance by the London Lions to win this one 87 points to 47.
And what it was great to see, Dan, was just the manner in which they did it, from the coaching staff to the 10th person who stepped on the court today. It was done in such a professional manner, both ends of the floor. Every time there was a little drop in performance, a timeout was called, players responded. An incredible performance from this London Lions team.
And you look down the stat sheet, and there's loads of tremendous performances all over the place, but we have to start with perfection, don't we, with Azania Stewart. 9 of 9 from the floor, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. She took 11 shots, they all went in. She had 20 points and 6 rebounds.
Many will comment on how perfect of a game she played offensively in her own shooting, but how effective and how influential was she for her teammates. If you look back at the game tape, you'll see her impact this game on a number of ways, from her running the floor to her distributing the basketball, and for her just to overall attracting the defense.
Well, they won the battle of the boards, but also 30 assists that they made out of 87 points. When you bear in mind they made 15 three-pointers, that is impressive moving of the ball.
It is, and even when they didn't make shots, you know, sometimes I found myself sitting here thinking, wow, that was a beautiful offense. And that's a credit to a team who are not only selfless, but have played together throughout highs and lows and have got that genuine team chemistry.
So 32 shots plus 4 for the free throws, 36 shot attempts. They got 30 assists out of it. Incredible. And 21 steals as well. Defensively, they really turned it up. And there is Jo leading with her daughter. This is the moments that she was talking about in the pre-game. These are the things, the pictures that she will treasure for all her life.
Oh, and she's someone who should be not only incredibly proud of what she's achieved in her career and what she continues to do for the game of British basketball, but she's doing it as a mum now. And as a parent, you're a parent, Dan, life is not easy. It's very, very difficult. And here she is, professional athlete, baby on her shoulder, and she's about to pick up her first British basketball piece of silverware.
Let's get some reaction from the studio. Over to you now.
Brilliant scenes there. Siobhan's back with us, and we were just chatting at the tail end of that game how the London Lions made it look so simple, and you were saying that's the thing, if you're turning on this game, they're making it look so easy, and we all know it shouldn't be that easy. It's not that easy.
It isn't that easy. Making 5 players on the court move in sync with each other, the way that they do, the way they move the ball. They made it look like it was the easiest thing in the world, and it really, really isn't. But it just shows the level of every single player that's put out on the court and the level of coaching as well.
Yeah, particularly the level, not particularly the level of coaching, but it's a really good point you make, because to the end of that game, Mark Clark was making sure that there was focus, that there was attention to detail. They're absolutely living and breathing his direction there.
They are, and I think it's credit to him, and it just shows why they are so good. It doesn't matter what the score is, what the stage is, who they're playing. He's going to hold them accountable to the bar that they've decided to set, and to continue to raise that bar for everybody else.
Strength in depth, Kieran, as well, was something we talked about at the top of the show. That was very apparent this afternoon, but it was also terrific to see some of the younger players getting minutes.
It's great to see, and I was saying that actually seeing them, the movement. They're moving like the older players now. A lot of great coaching has been going into that and mentoring.
All right then, looks like the Lions are about to get their hands on the first silverware of the season, and deservedly so. Let's get back to Ant and Dan for the trophy.
Thank you very much, Nat. Yes, indeed, the presentation party is out there and ready to go. The chairman of the WBBL, Jim Saker, to hand out the medals. The Newcastle Eagles. Quite often in this situation, you come to a final, you get beaten, particularly by a big margin. There's sort of despondency around the camp, but I don't feel like Newcastle will nobody wants to come to the final and lose, I get that, but I don't feel like it will be as painful for them as it might have been last year in the playoff final, for example.
No, I agree, Dan. And look, let's remind us of you're coming into this game. The head coach of 5-6 years is no longer with the organisation. They lost their one of them the leading scorer and another influential scorer. That was 22 points a game with those two combined. And then they've had players injured, COVID interrupting for lineups, etc. And this is a team that's came in here today and had that mentality, that fearless mentality, and they should be very proud to award that Newcastle Eagles jersey today.
Yeah, again, Rachel Bland's not here, Ruth Thornley not here as well. They've got a coach who's, as Drew said, took the first training session a couple of days ago. Everything was against them, and then you're facing, the best team in the league and one of the best teams in British basketball history, to be honest with you. When you look at what they've done in Europe, it's been incredible what they've done. So this squad is a team set for days like this to win trophies like this.
Yeah, this was the Newcastle Eagles couldn't have came across a more difficult opponent, and I think with this London Lions team as well, what's impressing me the most with them is not just the talent they've got, but just the way in which they execute things and the manner in which they go about their business. Both ends of the floor today, they were the superior team, and they have been for most part of the season. They're perfect currently in league play, and when you look at them now, you think to yourself, who's going to stop these guys?
Yeah. Jolin Warner going up to get her medal. 11 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. She's probably the closest pressure on Azania Stewart when we think of MVP.
Yeah, and you've got players that have just chipped in. It hasn't been that reliance on that one player. Today, Azania Stewart has been that out-and-out superstar, just because her game has been perfect. But Dan, they've had contributions from across the board there. Kenny Leonard, 12 points personal for her. Holly Winterburn hit some big shots, you say. And you had players like Sonso Charles just cutting both ends of the floor. Good shift today.
Well, they know who's the MVP because they immediately surrounded Azania Stewart before even her name was announced. And she just walked up last number to get her medal, and she hadn't even walked back to the team, but she's back there to get her MVP basketball, and just the perfect game. 9 of 9. Nobody has ever made that many field goals without missing. And I'd be surprised if anybody does again anytime soon. That was just a sensational performance by Azania Stewart. There is one last presentation to be made, and it is Shanice Beckford-Norton, the captain of the London Lions, who comes forward and receives the trophy and the handshake from the chairman of the WBBL. The London Lions are the 2022 WBBL Cup champions. The streamers fly, And Beckford Norton leads the celebrations. Well, they will get themselves posed for the cameras for the pictures you will see in seconds, I should imagine, on social media and beyond. But this is a scenario that they were put together to do. They've delivered today, and they will see it as step 1 of 4 for them this year.
I think so, and you look at this team now and you think to yourself, they're going to have to, the opposition is going to have to play near perfect games to come close to this. Now, this is sport and nothing's ever a given, but boy, these guys setting the tone. And I said, when you win this BBL Cup, you put yourself on that standard. You're now the benchmark for all the other teams to chase because you've secured that first piece of silverware.
Well, they have done it so in impressive style, again, with all the made 3-pointers. Winterburn made 3, Breen made 3, Leonard made 4, Jolin Warner made 3. It's come from all over the floor, and that is what makes them so hard. You've got a big inside who doesn't miss a shot, and then you've got all these gunners out on the 3-point line when she kicks it out.
Well, what do? You asked during the game, do you go man, do you go zone? And I genuinely sat there and started laughing to myself. Well, what would you do, Dad? It's pick your poison. And it was the movement as well. It was the quality of shots they've got. Players were always, good players are always going to find shots, but it was the manner in which their offense was flowing, the shots that they've got. They didn't shoot the ball particularly well at parts from the 3-point line, but what they did is they got their ability to keep getting good shots meant that it was only a matter of time before players started knocking down 3-point shots.
Well, it is a great day for the London Lions and their team as they celebrate. Let's go back to Nat and the crew on the court side.
Thanks, Dan. They are a team that came into the game with so much hype and deservedly so, Siobhan, but they lived up to that billing today, didn't they?
They did. So much hype also equals so much pressure, and you just didn't see that from them today. They played their game, they were patient, they made it look so pretty, so beautiful. Yeah, amazing.
It was something we talked about at the top of the show, wasn't it? Kennedy Leonard saying, we're the team that everyone wants to beat. It feels like we've got a target on our back, and that is a trap that sometimes you can fall into, or extra pressure that can create, particularly on a big game occasion, can affect you. They didn't show any sign of that at all today.
No, and I don't think they did. I think there was a couple of spells where, Mark had to have a timeout here and there, so they did show signs of being human and not robots, but not many of them at all. A great game by all of them.
And we discussed, Kieran, at the top how important this team is for the development of women's basketball in this country, their successes in Europe. Performances like this, and people potentially turning on for the first time and seeing the WBBL in action. The Lions are really blazing a trail in that respect, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very much so. Not only that, they're competing at a very, very high level, but they're also inspiring. They're inspiring at a very high level. It's possible to be playing at the top level in Europe, dominating in your own country. No better feeling than that.
And speaking of inspirational performances, our MVP this afternoon absolutely delivered one of those. Azania Stewart is courtside now with Drew.
Thanks, guys.
Azania, the London Lions are Cup champions. Describe your emotions.
Just really excited for our group. We've been working so hard from the beginning of this season. We're just trying to put our level from Euro Cup into the English League. So really, really proud of our girls. I did win MVP, but without my team, I'm nothing. So really excited to get the first hardware.
And you had the perfect game, 9 for 9 from the field.
I did miss.
To go along with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. How were you able to put your imprint on the game?
I think it was Mark. He just said post up, make sure I'm running the floor. Simple. For me, it was great to play in front of a crowd. Definitely what we've gone through, to have people back in the stands gives you, adrenaline and a good vibe and a feeling. So really nice to be back.
Lastly, talk about your defense, as it was relentless. You forced 31 turnovers. Talk about your team's effort on that side of the ball, holding the Eagles to only 47 points.
Yeah, that's what we really pride ourselves on, really. Defense turns into easy offense, and so if we're not going to score, they can't score. So it's really important for us to get our stand and get going early. In the first half, I feel like people were nervous, a little jitters, people were passing the ball off instead of shooting. But the second half really was our style, London Lions basketball.
Great job. Get out of here and go celebrate with the girls.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks.
I love the fact she didn't realise she had missed, but we can confirm that. Azania didn't miss, 20 points, 100%, and a commanding Siobhan all-round performance.
Yeah, totally commanding. And I think, you know, it's perfect. That reaction was perfect because that's what this team is. And they are that way. They are selfless because she leads them and Joe lead them. And they are about winning at whatever cost. It doesn't matter if they score, whoever scores the points. And I think that was just a perfect reaction.
That was something that you were talking to me a lot about during the game, Kieran, at the half, of course, as well. We had it come up a lot in comms too. A selfless team. It's very much a team in the operative sense of the word, isn't it?
Yes, they're a very selfless team, and see the way they embrace each other. You know, they were so happy for Z winning that MVP award. I think that was amazing. And you know, it's what they're doing in the British League is just showing so much that there is potential out there that it can be achieved.
She was a player that we figured would have a big afternoon, and she absolutely did. So was Holly Winterburn in New Digs this season, and we talked about how she developed as a player. 9 points, 9 assists, 4 defensive boards as well. Kieran, that was something that you identified as an area of our game that's really moved on.
Yeah, I've been watching Holly for years, and I think to see her now defensively, the way she's moving her feet, she's in the passing lanes, she's really stepped up her defensive prowess, and I think that is the step to take it to that GB level, to be competing with the best, that defensive intensity, and she's now showing that she can do that.
Well, I'm sure it was a performance that put a smile on the face of her head coach. Mark Clark, the Lions coach, is courtside now with Drew.
Coach, I think the girls are enjoying the moment. But the franchise's first WBBL Cup title, how does it feel to get the first piece of silverware this season?
It feels great to get the first piece of silverware, especially after the first half of the season with the European campaign. So to get a bit of reward, a bit of like tangible thing to have to hold is really important for us.
A team littered with individual talent. Why have they all bought in this season for the greater good of the group?
Well, you know, it's like we talk about the whole time. It's about we. It's never about the I. It's always about the we. And they've bought into that. And so today, Azania had the game with the numbers came for her. Other times it's been Joe. Other times it's been Holly. It's been Kennedy. Chantel's had great games across European stuff. So they know it's going to be their turn on one night or the other.
And talk about the standard this group's hold themselves to. There were many times you were up big, but you were still calling timeouts out there coaching the group up.
Well, this is like the WBBL Cup is a target in itself. But this group has made some strides this year. We've got to keep making strides. And making strides in a final, in front of fans, on the TV, is important for us to set a standard. And that therefore, if people want to join us at this level, we're showing them that's where it's got to be.
Hey, thank you for your time, Coach. Go celebrate.
All right, thank you. Will do.
Yeah, they're absolutely setting the gold standard. Congratulations to Coach Clark and the Lions. Want to give some time to the Eagles, of course, because it was a valiant performance given all the adversity that they have been facing, Siobhan. And Maddie Mcvicker in particular had a big afternoon, 16 points, and was the standout player for Newcastle, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think she really was. And I think, you know, we talked about it before the game. She needed to be for them to be in with any kind of chance of getting close to London. And she played really, really well. She got knocked on the eye. She came back in and she was almost better after she came back in. So she's just a tough player.
Toughed it out, and it was a long and difficult game for the Eagles. But that was definitely a bright spark for them. And as luck would have it, both Maddie Mcvicker and Azania were the two players that we mic'd up this afternoon to give you a different perspective of the game. Let's see how that played out.
Eagles on three, 1, 2, 3.
Eagles on 3 lines, 1, 2, 3.
Ryan, 422, you two are top, we're middle, you're back. Yeah.
Whoa, that was quick. Oh, yeah! Got a ball! How's that ball? 4, 3, 2.
Good girl. Yeah! If we ain't scoring, they ain't scoring. Let's go. Defense! Please, I love that accent. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, run! Yes, man. Yes. Do I get an assist for that screen? I don't like to look until the end. Then you never score again. You look. Make it simple! Switch it. Good girl, Nicole! Yes! Happy birthday, baby!
We are then one final down, one to come. Congratulations to the London Lions. Siobhan, great to see you again. Brilliant as ever. But that is just the start of it, as well as the men's BBL final. Well, we have got a big slice of entertainment coming your way. Dunk time, the dunk contest featuring 6 of the BBL's best is coming up for you next. Look at a fly high and find the same cloud that these Lions are on right now. That's coming next. Congratulations to the London Lions for their WBBL Cup win. The men's final between Leicester and Manchester on its way. But before all that, no silverware on the line, but bragging rights certainly. The BBL Dunk Contest about to get going. Kieran Achara, I know you've been looking forward to this all season.
This is it, you know, I live for these disgusting moments, and this is, you're going to see some disgusting dunks today.
Are we going to have a special Kieran Achara disgusting dunk of the day? We have to, right?
For sure, for sure.
Have to lock that one in straight off the bat. This is how the competition is going to work. 6 players going head to head. They have a minute to complete the dunk. 2 rounds to settle the winners. First round, we'll see each player attempt 3 dunks. The judges will score them on style, athletic ability, and creativity. In my case, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
That's what I'm thinking, exactly the same thing.
After round 1, the field will be whittled down to 2 finalists, and those 2 players will be the highest scores from round 1, logically enough. Then the slates are wiped clean, head to head, and the finalists are again allowed 2 dunks each, after which our winner will be crowned. So what's your advice here, Kieran? You go big on creativity and flash, or do you keep it simple and look at technical execution?
I think it's just getting the job done. You know, you want to actually make a dunk. You know, so all the creativity, you'll have a dunk that you're usually comfortable doing. It's got a little ooh and ah, but save yourself for the final.
Bet dunk competition next year, right?
Or pump fake. I would do a pump fake competition or free throws. That's where I
expand it. We're expanding. I like it. We're in the plans for 2023. In position and guiding us through this, Air Canada himself, of course. It is Mike Tuck. Who better than to take this one on? First up, though, Mike, congratulations on breaking the Sharks scoring record last weekend. It was terrific to see. Well done, man.
Thank you very much. Very lucky and very grateful to be in the position to still be playing. And I'm also grateful to be here at the BBL Slam Dunk Competition. We've got an exciting lineup of high flyers in front of us here. And I'm joined here with the reigning champ, Namon Wright. Namon, you're no stranger to this competition. How does it feel to be back?
It feels good. I just want to come out here and have some fun, so let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to hand it over to you, my man. Good luck in the first round here.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, Namon is first out as the defending champion, and he had some pretty spectacular dunks up his sleeve a couple of years ago when he won that slam dunk competition. So let's see what he's got in the bag for now.
It's always one of those ones when you start the competition as well, you put in a good dunk, you apply pressure to all of those other candidates in the competition, so I'm sure he's going to want to start this competition off with a bang.
He's just testing. Is it still 10 feet high? It is.
They started grading already. That was in the tester.
Warming himself up here. With the windmill. Nice little starter there from Namon Wright.
I think so. It's one of those ones that windmill, nice popular, stable dunk in a dunk competition, but got full extension there, got it to go. Yeah, solid start for Namon Wright.
Got 8, 8, and 7 from our 3 judges, Nigel Lloyd, Clive Allen. And, here now is Murray Hendry. Ooh, nice.
Very nice indeed there. The full cock of the ball, and he's able to reverse dunk that. I think the judges very impressed with that one too. 3 nines.
Yeah, all 3, Vanessa, Nigel, and Clive, giving a 9. Let's hear from Mike.
Murray, my fellow Canadian, all the way down here from Scotland. How does it feel to be back in the dunk competition?
It feels good. This time I'm coming for the crown. Sorry, Namon, but last time I was robbed. No, I'm kidding. It's nice to be back. Great group of guys, so it should be a lot of fun.
Definitely. We've got some high flyers here. I hope you got some more tricks up your sleeve.
Definitely.
Great.
I always think the taller guys are slightly disadvantaged, but he has some unbelievable athleticism. Let's hear from our next dunker with Mike.
Okay, next up, my teammate here, Marcus Delpeche. Marcus, I've had the pleasure of playing with you this season and seeing firsthand some powerful dunks, and in practice been dunked on by you. What do you have lined up here for us today?
This is a roll of the dice, see what happens. This is my first time doing a dunk contest, so I'm excited for this.
I'm excited as well. Good luck, buddy.
Here's Marcus. Let's see what he's got. Again, just testing the waters. Oh, not quite on the 360. He gets a minute though, so it doesn't matter that he's missed it. Although the judges may take that into consideration. There we go. That's the second attempt. That was pretty nice.
360. Well, as you said, Dan, the bigger guys typically don't do it as well in these competitions just because they don't have to jump as high as a guard, let's say. But Delpeche a good 6'8", 6'9" in himself, but they're able to get that 360 to go.
24 there. Let's hear from our next dunker with Mike.
We're here with Chris Yappo. Now, Chris, 24 hours ago, we didn't know you were going to be in this competition. You're pumped in as a replacement player. You're only 19 years old. How does it feel to be here?
Grateful. I'm just happy to be here.
Definitely. So what do you have lined up here for our first dunk?
My first dunk, I'm going to tap it at the side of the backboard and dunk it.
Okay, I love it. Let's see it, my man.
Well, he was pretty confident with what he was going to do. Let's see if he can deliver.
Well, the way he explained it was just like all of us in here could do it.
Exactly. Whoa! He did as well. Wow. Caught his shot and delivered first go.
Those are one of those dunks that look better in slow motion. So the judges obviously don't have that ability to look at this in slow motion, but it's one of those dunks where it's very impressive because he's tapping the ball forward first before he dunks it. All this is done while he's in flight.
Let's get back to Mike.
Joined here by Jordan Harris, part 2 of the Glasgow duo here. Jordan, we've seen you in multiple top 10 highlights this season. How does it feel to be here?
It feels good to be here, man. It's a great opportunity to have some fun, you know, on a good Sunday.
Definitely, and you're probably one of the most athletic guys in the league. What do you have lined up for us today?
We'll see. I never really did a dunk contest. I usually get all my dunks off in the game, so we'll see what I got to bring today.
First timer, love it. Good luck.
Okay.
I almost feel like he needs a defender out there so he can dunk over him.
Agreed. He's a very good in-game dunker. Incredible explosiveness, though.
Yeah.
He's got us on our feet a few times already this year.
He's doing the short shot bounce. Nice.
Very good. On 2 accords there. The original toss-up there to have that ball bounce and have enough hang time, but he's also had to catch that a little bit behind himself there with one hand and put it down.
29 from our 3 judges. You've got to leave yourself somewhere to go on the scoring. And then let's go back to Mike.
And last but not least, my guy, fellow Shark, Joe Muvuzuolo. How you doing, Joe? How do you feel today? The legs fresh or what?
I'm good. They ain't too fresh, but I'm good.
All right, what do you got lined up for us in this first dunk? Keeping it a surprise?
Yeah, I'm keeping it spicy. That's it.
All right, good luck, my man.
Okay.
Not sure he knows is the answer to that. Let's see, some eyeing it up. Is he backboard and dunk, perhaps?
Some of these guys will have a really tightly scripted.
Yeah, just to tap off the board and reverse. Again, I think it's one of those that's probably more difficult to execute than it looks, and the judges going harsh with 3 7s for just 21.
A head shake there as well. The judges, Vanessa Ellis there, no difficult to impress, but you're right, Dan, the slow motion can sometimes really make it appreciate the dunk and the hang time.
Well, Jordan Harris leads the way with 29. Namon Wright, the defending champion, with a 23. He's going to get his second dunk now. He's with Mike.
We're back down here with the reigning champ. You had 23 in the first round. What are your thoughts on that?
Score should have been a little bit higher, but we're going to let it go.
Okay, well, take notes, judges. Take notes, judges. And now here we are in the second dunk. What are you thinking for this one?
We're just going to see. Let's go.
Love it. Keeping the cards close to his chest. Good luck, my man.
So he's trying to get the crowd behind him. I think that's a good ploy. Because if the crowd goes nuts, it sort of puts pressure on the judges. Off the backboard and oh my, that was nice!
It was indeed. The delivery was excellent. The execution was excellent. He put it down with authority.
Yeah, as you say, there's some skill involved, but also plenty of power in that from Namon Wright for 29 points. Let's go back to Mike.
Back down here with Murray. Murray, how do you think that first dunk went for you?
Yeah, I think that was pretty smooth. It's a little chilly in here, but we're getting warm. We're getting ready to go, so it'll be all right.
Good. You scored 27 on that first dunk, so you're right up there with the leader. What about the second dunk? What are we thinking here?
You got to wait and see.
All right, love it, love it. Surprises all around.
Giving nothing away.
like a magician. He's not giving away all his tricks, is he?
No. Oh, with the reverse down through the legs. That was pretty impressive.
It was, and it's so hard to do. As a former player myself, not being able to do that, it's the appreciation for someone to do that is, wow. Very few people on this planet can do that.
25 he got on that one. Let's go back to Mike.
Back here with Marcus. Marcus got 24 in that first round. Any words for the judges?
Watch. Just watch and see.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Good luck.
Well, it's one of those things, you trash talk the judges before you get the score. You've got to be careful with that.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
He's going back a bit. Usually that means a long takeoff. Whoa! Not too far away. Not when you always need to see the feet. How far out he is. Ooh, rim check.
Sometimes the legs just aren't there.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to change the dunk up. Oh, no! Does he have time for one more? No, he doesn't. And he's going to get the lowest score of the round. 3-3-3. 9 points from our judges. Mike Tuck, let's go back to him.
And we're back here courtside with Chris. Chris, that first round, very technical dunk. What were your thoughts on that?
I thought I did quite well considering I wasn't warm. So my second dunk's going to be better than my first one.
Oh, really? Okay, what's the second dunk then?
Everyone tap into my IG.
What's your IG? Tell all the people out there.
NBA Crystal X.
There you go, a little bit of self-promo today. Good luck on your second dunk, my man.
There we go. He didn't call his shot this time, so let's see what he's got. Oh wait, no, that's why he's saying tap into his IG. He's going to do it IG live.
This is the next generation, Dan. This is it. 18 years, 19 years old.
Well, he gets extra style points and creativity there.
That's hilarious. And he gets it to go too, which was pretty cool. There's no cracked screens. There's no trombone. There's no cracked screens.
But he's gone with the wrong audience there. I don't think the three judges, Vanessa, Nigel and Clive, are IG Live people. I think that's his problem. Let's go back to Mike.
Back courtside here with Jordan. Jordan, you say this is your first dunk comp. You're a natural one, man.
Yeah, I agree, man, but I'm just making up stuff as I go.
So what about this next round? Is it just going to be off the top again?
I'm thinking of it right now. Like, I'm literally thinking right now what I'm going to do. I have no clue what dunk I'm about to pull off.
All right, man. Well, let's make it happen.
Is that double bluff? You reckon he's already got it and been practicing it all week?
I don't know. He strikes me as the type of guy who may just be figuring out what he's going to do now.
From behind the basket, you've got to throw that perfectly, and he certainly did.
And then the full extension with the windmill too. He has got springs in those legs. I really like that one.
The judges do too. 29 points once again for Jordan Harris. He is our leader in the clubhouse. Let's go back to Mike.
All right. Joe, only a 21 in that first round there. So this next round, I think we got to step it up. What are your thoughts? What do you think thinking you're going to pull out the bag here?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna figure it out as I go up there.
Love it. Figuring it out mid-air. Good luck, my man.
Okay. So let's see what Joe has got in his head. Number 21, he's got to pull something big out of the bag. Looked a little leggy on that one almost, in my expert dunking opinion.
Yeah, the defense as well, in the defense of Del Pesh as well, who's just a couple of dunks. It's rather chilly in here. This is usually a basketball. The gym is warm, and
that was nice. Sort of dropped it in with the reverse. I don't think the judges are going to go too high on that. Not as high as he would have liked. 23 he scores, 887 on that one. So here's the score as we stand. Neyman Wright with a 23 and a 29. Needs something big here if he's going to make the final. No! Nice. Windmill into the reverse.
He's an experienced vet at this competition, as you can see. He's enjoying himself doing it too. He's someone who's had solid dunks across the board.
27 for that one. Murray Hendry. Again, another one. If he's going to make the final, needs something big here. Oh, through the legs! That could be the perfect score. It is the perfect score.
That's always a fan favourite and a favourite of mine too. Such a high degree of difficulty dunk there. Ball through the legs.
Wow. Well, he needed something big to get himself into the final. He's come with a big, perfect dunk. 30 points on that. Here's Marcus Delpesh. There's two-handed throwdown. He knows he can't make the final after that 9.
There's an unfortunate thing of following up that dunk.
21, but his competition really derailed on the previous dunk. Here's young Chris Yappo again.
I like Chris Yappo's creativity. Okay, am I on Instagram live guy? Not much, but I like what he did there.
And is that enough to get him through? See, to me, I thought the last one with the creativity was a bit more creative. I think he's had some creative dunks, and he's probably been a bit harshly done to by the judges through those 3 rounds.
You've got to know your audience though, Dan.
Yeah,
you're right.
True. Should have faxed it in.
Faxed.
Here's Jordan Harris.
Half the viewers are like, what is that commentator on about?
Yeah. Only half. Get another go at it. Does he go with the same or does he change it up?
I don't think even he knows.
This one's so much about the bounce. Ooh, quite get a hold of that. He goes off the board and misses it, and that could be the end of Harris. Having got 2 29s, he got a 4-3-3, so just 10. Undone by 1 dunk, and that is the nature of the competition.
So important to have those consistent, and sometimes that's why it's good to have a safe dunk. You know, it's not going to set the world on fire, but what it won't do, it'll mitigate having a 3 threes or a couple bad scores.
Joe Jr. last to go. Nice. Let's see what the judges make of it. Looks like 7s, 7, 7 for a 21. I don't think that'll get him through to the final. Let's have a look at the scores on the doors. And name on right, the defending champion with 79 through to the final. Murray Henry, though, that 30 means he's the #1 seed going into the final with 82 points. Marcus Delpesh, Chris Yappo, Jordan Harris, and Joe Jr. all out of the competition. Now we get to the big stakes and the final. Let's hear from Mike.
Murray, an incredible first round there. How's your confidence after that big round?
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little looser. We're getting going now.
The question is now, do you go with some safe dunks that you know you can do, or are you going to pull something fresh out the bag?
We're about to see. I'm still thinking. We'll figure it out as we go. When we get in the air.
Full of surprises. Love it. Good luck, my man.
Figuring it out in the air seems a dangerous tactic to me, that.
Okay. Well, you've got to hang time with some of these guys.
Yeah,
you don't have time to figure it out.
Oh, we're going to have Murray Henry going over his teammate here, Jordan Harris. It's going to get him to hold the ball.
Well, and now Jordan Harris is out of the competition.
Yeah.
I bet he can feel a little bit more safer that there's not going to be any sabotage going on here.
Well, I'm wondering what Gareth Murray is making of this here now. The two of his players. So, the crowd, you can sense the anticipation. Can he pull it off? Oh, he's getting the clap going. Ooh, not quite. He got over him. He did get over him, but he couldn't quite. Oh, he's changed his mind now. He's changed his mind. He's going to do something else. Through the legs. Oh, not quite. Now, it needs to go in, this one. Needs to go in. Off the backboard. Oh! Is that enough to salvage a good score from the judges?
Well, at least he got it to go down, and like you said, Dan, you just got to get points on the board here, and you know, considering he had a couple missed dunks at 9-8-8, not a disaster by any means.
25 for Murray Henry. Let's go back to Mike.
Now, name one, back in a final. You're battle tested. You've been here before. What can we expect right here?
I came to have fun at first, but I'm in the final now, so I'm coming to win it.
Eyes on the prize. Good luck, fella.
Thank you.
Little slap of fire for his rival in this final. Name on right, trying to rile up the crowd. Ooh, he left that one a long way short. Airballs the toss. Ooh, I think he's trying to do the windmill off the catch. Ooh. Is he going to change his mind? 360 with the two-handed throwdown. That is a good execution after a couple of false starts. He's pulled that out well, and he's got the same score.
Well, both had their same struggles there of getting off their original ideas, but now able to get in some good two solid scores.
This is the score as it stands, 25 points apiece, so it all comes down to one dunk each. Let's go to Mike.
I got a different one for you.
Back courtside here, 25 points apiece here in the final. It all comes down to this last dunk. Are you feeling the pressure right now, my man?
It's an opportunity. It's a privilege, not pressure.
Love it, love it. Positivity wins the day. Good luck.
Thank you, buddy.
There we go. That is positive mental attitude at its finest there. What's he got for the win? Is he eyeing up the free throw line? He is.
Taken off from the free throw liner. Very, very popular. The run-up would suggest that's what he's going for.
He's almost in the locker rooms out the back. Here he goes. Oh, Murray Henry! Might just have won the dunk contest.
Take off from Birmingham. He got it to go, and such a difficult thing to do.
29 points, so there's a window of opportunity. Let's have another look in slow-mo. Just a step inside the free-throw line, but hammers it down with authority. The defending champion is under pressure now. Let's hear from him and Mike.
What do we think of that dunk right there, Neymar?
I'm not going to lie. I don't got no thoughts on it. No thoughts.
So it was nearly a perfect dunk there with 29 points. A perfect 30 would win it for you right here. You got that in you?
Let's hope so.
All right, my man. Good luck.
Well, this is the thing. He needs a 30, so it needs to be really good. Where's he off to? Oh, he's gone for a, I don't know, different ball. Maybe it's a bit grippier. This has to be good.
It's like Formula One and changing the tyres.
Oh. Ooh. Tell you what, if he pulls it off.
Yep.
Oh, rimmed in and out. He's got to make this. He's got to make this. Oh, he gets it in. It's in enough. Is that enough for Neymar Wright?
That was tough. The pressure to get that one up for the third.
10. And Neymar Wright has done it again with a 30 on the final dunk. He has won the dunk contest for a second time.
That's a clutch dunk, Dan. Clutch dunk.
Well, high fives to the judges all round. Here's another look at it from Neymar Wright. Through the legs. Just got it over the rim. And he needed 30 to win. And he got 30 to win. Let's get some reaction from Neymar Wright. He is with Mike Tuck.
Neymar, you needed a 30 to win. You got the 30 to win with the through the legs dunk. What's your reaction to all this right now?
Eastbury with the opposite hand. The rest is history.
And now back-to-back champs. You're making a regular appearance here every year. Are we going to see you back in this competition?
No, that's probably the last one. I'm getting old.
Goes out on top. I love it. Congratulations. You are the 2022 BBL Dunk Competition winner. Go and get your trophy.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you.
There we go. Neymar Wright. Two-time dunk champion. Goes up to half court and receives his trophy from Vanessa Ellis, one of our judges, and he will pose for the pictures. But, well, when you go last like that, he was first out. He had the pressure on him at the beginning, and then he had pressure on him at the end, and he delivered on both occasions.
He did clutch dunks there, because you got to think as well, Murray Henry set the tone there with that almost free throw line dunk, and then there was two missed attempts there from Neymar Wright. It's not easy. You've got 10,000 people here all gasping and waiting for your next move, but hey, he stepped up and put it through his legs and finished the play.
Well, Murray Henry will feel slightly aggrieved, I think, in that. Let's go back to the court side and Nat and Kieran.
Yeah, that is a reasonable perspective, I think, Dan Routledge. Kieran, do you agree with that? Do you think Murray will feel aggrieved?
You know I'm the most biased person when it comes to...
Yeah.
So I feel for Murray. I know what he's capable of doing, but it was a great final. Namon stepped up when he had to, but yeah, Murray Henry showed what he could do.
Namon, definition of clutch there, getting it done, wasn't it?
Last dunk, that's all he had left in the tank. You could see how tired he was at the same time, but executing down the pressure, Namon right, that's what he does on the court, and he clearly does it in dunk competitions as well.
What do you make of the IG Live dunk?
You know what, as a fellow Gen Z or millennial, whatever you want to call me, it was creative, but at the same time, yeah, it wasn't enough.
Did you say fellow?
I'm trying to click into this. I'm young at heart.
Yeah, yes, you are. Let's find out if that made your disgusting dunk of the day. No, it wasn't. It was Murray Henry, so he didn't win the title, but this is maybe more important than that, Kieran.
He is an athlete. Look at that. Through the legs. Nice execution. Smooth. Head at the rim. That's just disgusting.
There we go. 310s will count for a lot, but disgusting from Kieran Ojara is far more important. No surprise that he's a Glasgow Rock and takes that.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah.
Yes. That was great fun. The fans here certainly loved it. Lots of strong dunks on court here in Birmingham, but there have been plenty throughout the course of the year. Let's take a look at some of our favourite dunks of the BBL season.
Alley-oop and thrown in by Shelton.
Well, if that's a preview of some things to come this season, then that's not a bad 1-2 combo right there.
Double team and Kelly with the flush.
Wow, great execution there for the two bigs inside.
Dodo getting cross court to Raftopoulos. Matt loses the handle, straight into the hands of Lucian, gives it to Williams, who flushes it down on the break. Wow.
Great fast break. LBC Dusha holds it just long enough to give his teammate Tony Williams enough space to sky high.
Trying to force it inside. Oh my goodness! Harris with the monster poster!
Wow, another one of those broken up plays that Rots ends up, and Harris, of all people of this game, ends up with the ball in his hands, and what a dunk.
Fletcher spinning. Fletcher getting all the way, dishes it off and hammered in by Jude Shelton.
Wow, and Ramon Fletcher's got a longer, stronger defender on him, but he uses the screen, penetrates inside, and this is down to his dunking big.
Oh, Anderson all on his own with the one-handed throwdown.
Jamal Anderson, who's been active in this game.
Lots of the alley-oop! Thrown down by Kelly. Great pass from Jordan Williams. And it stays in bounds. Randall. Oh, with the move. Oh, the man. Down. Oh, loving. Away out to Johnson, lobbed up to Shelton. Great fast break from the Newcastle Eagles.
And it starts with the Eagles defense there. Brandon Peel doing what he does best. And a great offensive transition execution here.
Carey driving in with the flush. Whoa, Kyle Carey attacking the basket hard for the and one. What a throwdown by Hamrick.
Where was the pogo stick? Goodness me, he just sort of took off, and it was one of those scenarios where you played a video game and you just press the dunk button.
Here's the ball to the basket.
That's incredible. That's a 38-year-old dunking the basketball there.
Wow. Armstrong lobs in, and Anderson with the flush.
Harris is out in front.
Oh my! Wow.
That's dunks of the season, commentary of the season on that as well, with Anthony Rowe and the pogo stick.
Yeah.
Loving that, Rowe.
that was a nice line, you know, and even the Routledge's voice getting so high as well. That was, you know, it's really difficult to keep composure when there's so many special dunks.
Now, this is a tough call for you, because normally we ask you for plays of the week. You're discussing play of the week, but this is dunks of the season so far, so it's a high bar. There's a lot of choice there. Can you pick one?
So many choices, but and I'm obviously so biased as well, so I'm trying to stay away from Jordan Harris'
People
dunk.
will talk.
But I love the Hamrick dunk actually from Surrey. You know, they've been going through quite a rough time and still playing with energy, still playing above the rim. The finish there, it was disgusting.
There you go, congratulations. We sort of seen some real energy in the place so far. Of course, the WBBL Cup final, Kieran, the Lions, one of the great teams in British basketball at the moment, and living up to that billing. The dunk competition was a hell of a lot of fun as well. We're going to say this countless times, I'm sure, during the day, but 10,000 plus fans in, the energy we're seeing, it's a great time for British basketball right now, isn't it?
Great time, and you know, as a player myself playing in this area, I never got to take in the atmosphere. You know, I was so fixated on the game, but actually getting to look at it today, see the happy faces, people in the crowd, families coming to support, travelling fans from all over. It's just a great spectacle for British basketball.
It is, well said, and it is plenty more to come, because the WBBL Cup final in the bag, the dunk competition in the bag, and we are all set now for the men's BBL Cup final. Manchester and Leicester will be taking the court in just a moment. All the build-up is coming next.
You know, just having that opportunity early in the season to win a trophy is something we didn't have the opportunity to do last year.
Didn't come back to retire. I was coming back here to make a difference, help, you know, the Giants win as many trophies as possible.